Hello, and welcome to Fumbles&Fame plays Tomb of Annihilation, an international community created to, as the name suggests, connect DMs or GMs and players around the world to discuss and enjoy our love for D&D as RPGs as a whole. That's what we as Fumbles&Fame are. A few announcements to get through just before we get to the game. Tomb of Annihilation, Session 1, Part 3, Proving Worthy, will drop tomorrow on YouTube, and more videos will continue dropping every Monday. So if you missed our first session, now is a great time to start catching up. We also have videos of our Curse of Strahd campaign up on the channel. There are 7 parts currently up there, with another one on the way soon. The next campaign after Tomb of Annihilation being streamed is Fumbles&Fame plays Horde of the Dragon Queen, streaming right here on this channel on January 12th, starting at 7 p.m. GMT, so make sure you tune in for that. We also have a new campaign, brand new, starting February 3rd, which will be Fumbles&Fame plays Out of the Abyss at 2 p.m. GMT, but that time may be subject to change, so stay tuned on our Twitter. We also have an additional Curse of Strahd campaign starting on January 20th. It will not be streamed, but will probably be uploaded in kind of a podcast style on YouTube. So make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of the videos dropping on there. We're also currently, the Fumbles&Fame community is currently seeking players interested in playing a game of Fate RPG. Which is an easy-to-learn system. I've talked to the GM that's going to be running that game, and it sounds awesome. And if I had more time, I'd be playing in it myself. Currently, there are 4 slots open. The game needs at least 2 more players to begin playing, which would more than likely be Sundays every other week. So join us on the community now if that's something you want to get in on. And you can find a link to the Discord community on Twitch just below our video. Also, Fumbles&Fame is also planning on having a ton more other D&D and RPG related content coming soon from all sorts of things like D&D online streams, which some of you may have caught, to DM roundtables, to world building and homebrew campaign creations. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Most up to date. Finally, I guess as always, for those of you who have been listening, and if the streaming is at least audio, finally, as always, Fumbles&Fame is always seeking new DMs, GMs, players, and anyone else who wants to just join an awesome community. And you can find us, like I've been saying, on Discord and on Twitter. Both of those links are just below us in Twitch. With all that out of the way, and as long as we're still good on the stream, as we fumble our way through this fame, let's get settled in, and I'll go over a little bit of a recap from last week. So, time on Fumbles&Fame. Check here. All right, so we're still up just a little bit, maybe a little bit laggy, but last time on Fumbles&Fame, Tomb of Annihilation, the party took stock of their new surroundings very quickly, embarking out into Port Nianzaru, the only last living city on the peninsula of Chult. Very quickly, they made friends with a merchant prince, ended up defending the city against an attack of undead, and managed to procure all the necessary items to travel deep into the jungle to seek out the Soulmonger, which is a necromantic artifact that apparently has caused a death curse all across the land. They also, in procuring all these necessary items, managed to find a guide by the name of Azaka Stormfang, a Chultan female human who very aptly came to their aid during the undead attack and offered her services. Now, she offered her services under the regular price. However, she did say that she would waive her normal fee for guiding as long as the party helped her retrieve an item stolen from her by the evil Pterafolk of Chult. To do this, they needed to travel about 6 days down the River Tiryki via canoe to Firefinger, which is a roost of the evil Pterafolk. As they arrived on the 5th night, finally, they caught their first sight of Firefinger in the dark. So all they could see was this strange large flame seemingly floating in midair, high up in the sky. As they settled down to make camp, Azaka said the best way to sneak up on the Pterafolk was either by night or in heavy rainfall. And the party just ended up going to sleep knowing that they still had a day's journey ahead before they really needed to worry about assaulting Firefinger. And that is where we will pick off. So, what is it you'd like to do? It is morning. The sun comes up very quickly and very quickly heats up the rest of the jungle, and you are very quickly stuck yet again in the humid, wet conditions of Chult.
Would Morthos have enough time to make his rapier his packed weapon?
Yeah.
It would take about an hour for the whole ritual.
I mean, provided the party has no problems, Azaka says that there is plenty of time. She says that we have all day to travel, and assaulting Firefinger in the middle of the day is a suicide mission. So by all means, do what you need to do. I am merely your guide. You tell me where to go, I go. Especially after we get my mask back.
By the way, can you tell us a little bit more about those Pterafolk who stole the mask from you? What exactly are they?
Have you seen a pteranodon in the city? Which, yes, you kind of have. You've seen them kind of winging high up and during your travels.
Yes, I did.
She says, they are like them, but way more intelligent. They almost have humanoid quality to them, while still retaining the physical appearance of just a pteranodon. That is why they are so dangerous. Most of the time, pteranodons, they will not attack. They are scavengers. They are opportunists. If something is too much of a problem, the pteranodon will merely fly away. Whereas the Pterafolk, they pride themselves in being aggressive. For the longest time, they have roosted in this Firefinger and assaulted travelers along the river. And my mask, it resembles a tiger's face. It is a family heirloom, long since passed down. And I was guiding a group of adventurers like you, and they didn't make it. And I lost my mask.
Oh. That sounds bad. And how many of those Pterafolk are living in Firefinger?
I have no idea.
Do they have any weaknesses or?
I do not know of weaknesses, but their strength and their favorite thing to do is to pick people up and throw them from great heights. By the way, you all notice that your friend Sin is not around.
Sin wakes up from his sleep as he feels dehydrated, but he wakes up and he's like, "Where am I? Where am I?"
Sin, you're off in the jungle. You seem to found yourself kind of cradled by the jungle roots around you. You're kind of in the middle of these jungle trees, but everything around you has been scorched as if by fire. And you remember having strange dreams where you were back at home, you were back in Gunderlund, and a tremendous storm had approached you, and you had been struck by a rogue lightning bolt during this dream, and you'd kind of woken yourself up, and then you find yourself here, away from all of your friends in this strange place. And again, the ground is just blackened and burnt all around you.
Sin looks around and he says, "No, not again. This cannot be happening."
You guys watch as Mr. T gets up. He kind of stretches. By the way, for all the viewers, our lovely Mr. T is sick, has no voice, and is feeling very, very gross, but is messaging me. So I will be kind of pseudo-acting out Mr. T. So if anybody's wondering why I'm kind of voicing his actions and he's not, that is why. But you guys watch as Mr. T gets up, doesn't say very much. As usual, he is sleeping without his armor. His hot pink boxers are on full display for everyone to see. And he gives a big yawn, scratches himself a little bit, and then immediately, just without another word, strips off and just walks right into the river and proceeds to just skinny dip himself away.
I turn to Azaka and ask her, "Are there leeches in these waters?"
She looks, and a small smile curls across her face, and she says, "Yes, very, very many."
Morthos just nods and continues with the ritual.
That's what it gets.
Sin, what would you like to do?
I'm going to try and find my way back.
Okay, you begin picking your way. Now, how exactly do you find your way? And in fact, I'll get you to roll a survival check, actually.
Okay. I rolled a 10. And I have no modifier.
All right. You do think you hear the soft movement of perhaps river water nearby. You're not entirely sure, but especially being a person that has lived next to the sea all of his life, that is probably your best bet to find the river.
With the sounds of the river, Sin tries and picks up the smell of what he can and the sound, and he goes in that general direction, trying to hold back the power that is abruptly kind of statically charging around him.
And you can indeed feel and see small little kind of lightning charges jumping from your hairs and everything else. And in fact, there are a couple new tattoos that you didn't have before. Very nice, very nice. It doesn't take you very long. You do come out onto the bank of the river, and you kind of look around, and you see smoke coming from not very far away, which is probably a good indicator that it is your friends, or something far more nefarious. But you pick your way down the beach, and very, very quickly you do actually manage to see Mr. Tarask as he throws his hot pink boxers up into the air as he goes skinny dipping into the river. So you know that, yeah, you found your friend.
Sin feels very delighted, but he is trying to not show that he has these powers.
Right. Which they do kind of subside a little bit. Like you're not outwardly always kind of
Yeah.
charged up, but they do kind of subside after a while. And you guys, as you're kind of looking around and preparing your breakfast, and Morthos is preparing the ritual, and Mr. T is singing a rather loud dwarven drinking song. You guys do note that he does have a really big tattoo of just a bloody axe on his back. It's kind of like a full back piece, just this axe. And, he just keeps singing about, it's actually, Morthos, you would recognize this song. You've actually heard it in taverns and pubs in Luskin. It is actually called the Canticle of Gauntlgrim. And it's a song sung by many dwarves of that region, both as a way to always remember where Gauntlgrim is, and as a way to pay homage to the king that rules there. And the king that rules in Gauntlgrim, his name is Brunor Battlehammer.
I think Morthos would be humming along with the tune.
Yeah. While you finish off your ritual.
I'm chiming
Now-
in as well.
Nice. Now, Selenia, I guess you would kind of be the person to kind of note that Sin comes in looking a little less rambunctious than usual. It's good to see that he's here, and he was missing at some point, but you didn't hear the great thunder of his bongos, which is a normal morning ritual of his, and you didn't hear those this morning, and he's looking odd, and it's strange because he seems to have new tattoos that he's kind of looking at and kind of rubbing, and he's very lost in thought. He's very off, and it's just strange. It's very strange to see a man like him, especially with Mr. T singing drinking songs, because I'm sure Sin just loves getting in on that shit.
Ooh, Sin is definitely enjoying the music as it's enlightening his feeling, and he's feeling kind of back at home.
Then, what would you like to be doing during this entire time?
I probably would have borrowed a piece of paper and a quill from Morthos and began scribing a letter to my parents.
Okay. So after Mr. T finishes skinny dipping, he kind of comes out, and he does seem to have a number of small leeches attached to various parts of his body. I'll let your imagination wander on which parts you would like. But he does, without another word, he just kind of grabs him, squishes him with this kind of gross sound, and you see his blood kind of squirt out of them, and he kind of actually catches on to that and begins to kind of use it as like little attacking things, that he squirts his blood at Runa with one of them and kind of but he doesn't seem worse for wear. They seem to be good old regular leeches. What else would everyone like to do? Azaka is just sitting tending to the fire. She seems to be packing up her pack.
I'm just having this long suffering look in my face of Mr. T again. And I just prestidigitate all the blood away.
Excellent.
Like to get him into armor.
You do note that, and actually you catch very quickly, Runa, you watch as Azaka kind of raises her head to the sky, and she kind of pulls in this really long breath through her nose, this really long just... And then she says, "We will be getting heavy rain in about 2 hours. we should prepare for that, should we travel.
I hate the weather in this place. I really do.
She says, you do not like the rain.
No. And the heat, and the humidity, and everything in between.
You have definitely come to the wrong place. It rains more often than it shines here.
So I noticed, and I'm squeezing my tabard to get the water out.
Okay. You guys actually watch as, kind of disgustingly, Mr. Tarask ends up squirting a little bit of the blood on himself, and he kind of rubs it on his arms and rubs it on his body. You all kind of stop and do the very comical, everybody looks at him. He just kind of stops and goes, "What? It helps me put on my armor." And he just kind of slides into his armor, almost as if he is using the blood as a kind of armor lubricant.
That is so foul.
It is. And that's going to call all the insects to you, right? You spend so much gold on the insect repellent, and you are basically painting yourself as a feast for, come, eat me.
He immediately turns to you and, very much like a cat or a child that you're telling not to do something, he kind of pulls out the gourd of insect repellent that he has, dips a few fingers in, begins applying it to his skin, and he goes, "They don't bug me." And then he finishes applying it.
Sin just looks at him very disgustingly and just says, "I need water."
By the way, just so you all know, your water skins are probably at about half. And it is a good thing that heavy rain is probably on the way, because yeah, binging is on my end for those watching. Don't know how to turn it off because I get so many messages. So don't mind that. But you guys will have a little bit of water. Sin, you are given a little bit of water. And
Azaka said that it's going to rain. Is it going to rain so strongly that we have to stay here and weather it out, or can we proceed towards our destination?
she says, no, I do not think so. There is a chance that it could be a tropical storm, typhoon, some people call monsoon, but I do not think so. She kind of stops. She goes, No, I do not think so. It will just be a heavy rain.
You can tell all that from breathing.
Says, I know Chult well.
Fair enough.
If you'd like, you can insight check her. Okay.
That's a nat one.
Yep, she knows Chult real well.
Well, I wholeheartedly believe her. I trust that woman's word.
And by the way, for all the viewers, I have been instructed on how to shut off the Discord pinging, so you should hear that less. Well, for the rest of the morning, before you guys set out, what you guys like to do?
Sin just applies the bug repellent.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Okay. Morthos, you finish up your pact, and actually, strangely enough, Runa, again, you're the one to kind of catch this, because you do have the highest passive perception. You note that there, as you kind of see Morthos finish the kind of ritual, and he's actually had his gloves off, which for the first time you've kind of noticed that you've never actually seen his hands. You see a glow on the back of his hand. And then it kind of goes away and seems to just fade into a very, very dark tattoo on his hand. The tattoo being almost seems to be a raven's skull surrounded by black feathers. And by the way, we can't hear you. At least I can't.
Okay. That's a very interesting marking you have on your hand there, Morthos.
I nod and just take my packed weapon and put it into my dimension, and just say it's my inheritance, and I walk away to the canoe.
I'm just
But it's so full of
looking after
mysteries.
him, intrigued. By the way, the last 3 nights I spent creating flasks of holy water, and I have now 3 of them, and I'm going to hand one to Mr. T, to Selenia, and one to Sin, with instruction. This water is blessed, and if you throw it at an undead creature, and if you throw it hard enough that the flask is breaking, it will deal that creature quite a big amount of damage. So I hope that will help in case more undead creatures crawl out of this jungle the way they did in Port Neon Zaru when we were at the gate.
Thank you.
Sin says thank you.
You're welcome.
Then stands a little further away from the jars.
Does Sin notice that?
You know what? I'm going to have you roll an insight check, Sin.
That's a 3.
Yeah, no, to Sin, I would say that it just, to him, like she just naturally moved
Smells.
away. It wasn't necessarily a E moment. At that point, Mr. T had walked up, so that could very well have been it as well. You're not really sure.
Okay.
So, you guys pack up camp after doing all of your morning things, and you yet again set out onto the River Tiryki. Now, the River Tiryki is a wide, brown-colored river whose current moves so slow that it actually doesn't hinder much travel, even when you're going upriver against the current. The jungle presses thick on both sides of you. Long vines coming down from the massive jungle trees, almost like fingers trying to drag and soak up the water for the trees. A few just regular, beautifully colored parrots flies overhead, and you can see a group of monkeys playing on a tree nearby as you guys kind of float down the river. And it's very idyllic for about 2 hours until the heavy rain shows up. Almost exactly 2 hours, this heavy rain kind of rolls in and just begins drenching you and soaking you and making you really uncomfortable. Especially including because I don't know if you've ever put like Vaseline on your hand and then run your hand underwater. It adds that extra layer of wet, greasy discomfort that you are now experiencing. However, you do see fairly large mosquitoes around and stuff like that. So, and they don't seem to bug you. So it's kind of comforting that, at least it seems to work for now. As you round a bend in the river, just after noon, the rain lets off just a little bit, and you finally catch a glimpse of Firefinger in the daylight in all its glory.
Before the
It's-
rain lets up, can we open the rain catcher? Because last time
Yeah,
we had problems
you bet,
getting enough
you bet.
water, and I would like to open that.
You bet.
can-
So I would
turn
say
the
that the
umbrella
heavy
on.
rain lasts for probably about 2 to 3 hours in the morning, enough that you can actually fill your rain catchers and thereby fill your water skins. And so through the course of all that rain, you guys did manage to actually hydrate enough and refill your water skins to have it. Now, knowing what you face, you're very much a little bit more prepared and a little bit more ready for what happens. Now, Firefinger is a huge, massive tower. It rises, I mean, it's hard to tell, but it's probably at least 300 to 400 feet tall out from the jungle canopy. And at the top of it, you can just see this huge plume of fire and smoke coming from the top of it. The walls of the spire are sheer, and even at this distance, you can see that it is completely dotted with small caves and frail-looking ladders hanging from narrow ledges at various heights. As you look at Firefinger, your vision is all of a sudden drawn away by a rather large splash nearby. And as you look behind you, you can see that there is just a large ripple in the river, almost as if something had come up out of the river and then kind of gone back in, leaving just behind the ripple and splash that attracted your attention.
Did you guys see that? I say, looking over my shoulder.
I saw something.
That was very intriguing. What could that be?
It looked big, right?
Oh, yes.
Lightning can be big. I've seen it.
Sin looks at his arms very, very mysteriously without people paying attention, seeing if it wasn't him.
You don't think it was you, Finn, but anything's possible. These new powers you've got.
Sin kind of sighs a little bit and hopes it wasn't him, just kind of looking at the ripple, trying to investigate.
Can we see something move in the river underneath the water surface?
The water's surface is brown like the Amazon. So trying to see anything in it is absolutely impossible. Azaka did kind of note, and she kind of looked around. When you guys looked around, she doesn't say anything, nor does she seem overly concerned.
I look at Kazaka and I go, does that happen frequently?
She says, there are many things in the river. All we can hope is that it is not a plesiosaur.
And if it is?
Then we need to get out of this river very quickly.
Should we maybe start drifting towards one of the banks?
She says, perhaps.
Then let's do that.
Okay. So very kind of slowly. What's up, Selenia?
I was gonna say she'll have her spear ready.
Okay.
I'm going to send my raven in the air. So to get the bird's eye perspective on the river, maybe I can see a ripple that belongs to a large animal moving behind us in the water or something that we can't see from the boat, but from the air.
Okay. Ahead of you, as you see Runa's eyes kind of cloud over, and you see her raven kind of go off of her shoulder and begin winging her way, its way behind you guys. And you guys are pretty comfortable with this by now. You've seen Runa in the last 5-6 days of travel. You've seen her be able to use this familiar to kind of scout ahead. So this isn't alarming by any means for you guys to just kind of see Runa just like go into this kind of trance. But ahead of you, the rest of you see the water surface break, and a head attached to a very long neck emerges. The long neck being attached to a wide and large body. It looks at you for just a second, and then its mouth opens to reveal a long row of razor-sharp teeth. Now, Runa, as you're scouting with Corvin, your raven, you notice that there is another dark shape behind you, seemingly hunting you. And I'm going to be that annoying DM and say, quick 5-minute break for some technical stuff to be fixed. So my host, you can cut to break. We'll be back as soon as possible, guys, so stay tuned. So everybody, roll initiative for me, please. And Mr. T, I do already have your initiative.
Because I could see the other one that was coming from behind, I would like to say so to the party, like, watch out! There are two of them!
Okay, good deal.
Sin readies his axe.
I would like to let it be known, both of the rolls I've made tonight have been nat ones. With different dice.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Is that just a 1 with your...
It's a 2. It's a 2.
Okay. And Selenia, what's your initiative? That's a D20, by the way, plus your initiative.
Yeah, I can't tell on this dice. Look. I don't know if that's a 9 or a 6.
What is a weird dice?
Should be a little dot, right?
Yeah, it's a dot.
The dot should be up top if it's a 6. Dot will be on the bottom if it's a 9.
Yeah.
It's on the side. This dice is weird. I'm gonna just use a different one.
Probably your best bet.
Molithos, what'd you get for initiative?
13.
And Runa?
I have a 16.
And Sin?
21.
Wow.
Nice.
I got a 10.
All right, and I will roll for the plesiosaurs. I'm using a blue dice, just so you all know.
Yeah, not.
Not my killer dice. All right, plesiosaurs got 12. All right, Sin, you're up first in the initiative round. So what would you like to do? By the way, really quickly, before we go fully into combat, who is in what canoe? Because I guess you have 2.
I'm in mine.
Is it the same one? The same like last time? Because then it's Azaka, Sin, Runa, Mr. T, and the others are in the canoe behind us, right?
Okay, perfect. By the way, really quickly, we did all go get some water and stuff. I have a water bottle, but let's all cheers. One of our lovely admins in Fumbles and Fame, Miss Gloss and Gadget.
Cheers!
Sin readies his axe and he looks at his arm, hoping power does not emerge, and he goes to strike abundantly. They're in the water, right? I assume
They're in the water. One is behind you. You can see very quickly coming towards you. It's probably about 40 feet away from you. The one in front of you is probably at about 20 feet away from you.
Are we able to strike the heads, or do we actually have to move the canoes closer?
You would probably actually have to move the canoes closer to be able to even hit.
I look at the rest of the party in my canoe, and I say we should probably move these canoes closer, as we cannot hit them, or I cannot hit them, and I know Mr. T can't hit them, so we're going to probably have to spend movement to get there. So I grab one of the rows and pull ourselves closer to the head.
Okay. Basically, for this, I'm going to say that you can sacrifice your full movement to go half of your movement in the canoe.
So 15.
Yeah, so you can go 15 feet, which will actually bring you to within 5 feet of the creature. I'll allow you to actually take a swing with your axe if you'd like, Finn.
I'm just gonna go ahead and try and chop away.
All right.
With a nat
That
one.
doesn't look good.
Household is cursed. Oh my god.
Okay. Unfortunately, Mr. Sin, your axe goes completely flying out of your hands. Apparently, the salve you have wearing the salve on your hands has enabled it to be a little bit more lubricated, and so you are weaponless. Now, the good news being that you swung with enough force that it actually cleared the river and is sticking in a tree on the bank.
Oh no. Sin screams, my axe!
All right. Runa, you are up in the next initiative.
Yeah, I saw this pitiful display. And I'm sitting right behind you, and then I'm putting my hand on your shoulder, and I say, may Kalimvor guide your strikes next time. And I'm casting Bless on Sin, myself, and Mr. T, so we get 1d4 on all ability checks and attacks and stuff like that.
Cool. Sin just kind of in battle, he just puts his head down and he goes, no, no, no.
And viewers, if you know how, perhaps granting these guys some advantage might help. I don't know. They're struggling. They might need your help here, viewers.
Shiva cursed us.
All right, Runa, is that all?
I guess so, right? I can't move the canoe any closer, right?
You're in the canoe with Sin, yeah? Then no, not really. I mean, you can right up against the plesiosaur if you really wanted to, but
I'm having Corbin circle around, and
okay.
Maybe he can do his help action the next time someone tries to attack the creature to confuse it. So whoever attacks next gets advantage on the attack.
Excellent. All right, Morthos, you are up.
Okay, so everybody was attacking the one in front of us right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and Eldritch Blast it.
Okay. Excellent. See your attack roll. Do not get a 1.
It's not. It's a 12 total.
Oh, okay. Well, 12 total just misses, unfortunately, as the kind of sound seems to alarm the plesiosaur, and it manages to rear away just in time for that kind of beam of force energy to just right beside its head. And they are up, and you watch as both of them sink beneath the water. And then everyone in each canoe feels as all of a sudden you imagine your canoe have just been attacked, and both canoes immediately start to leak. All right, Selenia, you are up.
Can I use my Radiant Soul?
That's your fly ability?
Yeah.
All right. So that is an action to you, so that will be your full turn. But you guys watch as Selenia all of a sudden gets shrouded in this beautiful golden light, and then it erupts off of her into kind of this huge sparkle, and you immediately see these beautiful kind of white spectral wings erupt from her back, and she immediately begins like hovering in the air. Now that was your action, Daniel. You still can move if you'd so like. And you have the same flying speed as you do your movement speed.
They went under the water, right?
They did go under the water, yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go just a tad bit higher, like 10 feet maybe,
Sure.
above the boat. And then
Now, keep in mind, your fly does for 1 minute. Now, that in combat, that's a really long time. That's 10 rounds. So,
Okay. I'll just
so
wait
you're
till the next.
all right.
Okay.
So, you've erupted your radiant soul, and that's it. Perfect. Mr. T, what would you like to do? Okay, I see that. Mr. T, give me an attack roll. Now, normally this would be a disadvantage, but thanks to our lovely Gloss and Gadgets, who giving you advantage, she will nullify that, so you will just have a base roll, and just send me a message with your result, please. Really? You got a nat 1. So you guys watch as Mr. T, nat 1 plus bless, as Mr. T gets up, and he seems to have his axe out, and he's thinking, and he's and he's just frustrated that he can't do anything, because as you guys well know, Mr. T has claimed he cannot swim. All right, Ven, you're up.
So they're underwater, right?
Yeah, currently.
Since I can't really do anything else because they're underwater and I can't see them.
I would say you might be able to see like the odd dark shape, which is why if you were to try and attack them, I would give you disadvantage.
But what if I magic missile them?
I'll say you have enough sight to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Have we hit any of them?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm just going to try and hit whichever one you think I can see. If I can see it, I'm going to hit it.
I'm kind of playing that they're aquatic creatures, and aquatic creatures don't generally stand still ever. So they're kind of coming in and out of sight as they're in the water and stuff like that.
Alright, that's 7... Nope, hold on. 8, 9, 10 force damage.
10 force damage. All right. And by the way, Mr. T just sent me a picture. It was, in fact, a nat 1. All right. So you see this missile erupt into the water and hit, and you actually do see a little bit of blood kind of coming up to the top of the water, kind of confirming that you have indeed hit these creatures. Back to the top of the round. Sin, you are up.
Is there any way I can jump boat to land to grab my axe yet again?
To get all the way to the shore where your axe is, probably not. To jump from boat to boat, it's possible. You can certainly try.
I'm gonna try that.
All right. I need you to make an acrobatics check.
Six.
6. Okay.
6.
I need everybody in the canoe that Sin was not on to make a dexterity saving throw, please. So I believe that would be Ven, Morthos, Mr. T?
No, Selenia.
Selenia. Okay. Selenia, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh no, you're in the air. Selenia's in the air. Selenia's in.
True that. I got a 9.
18.
Okay. You not only miss the canoe, Sin, but you manage to hit the canoe enough that it knocks Ven out of the canoe into the water. Morthos, you manage to hold on just, and it kind of settles back down, but now both Ven and Sin are currently in the water.
Ven screams she's going to kill Sin.
Sin says, I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh no.
At least we can swim.
Runa, you are up.
I'm going to wait a second. Can I see one of the creatures at the moment?
You can see a dark shape. I'll say you're kind of at disadvantage.
Okay. I'm going to try to hit it with a guiding bolt, so the next person after me gets advantage because it's outlined. I'm making a ranged spell attack.
Okay, and I believe I'm being told that Gloss and Gadgets gave you another advantage.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was a 16 and that's a 15, so 22.
22. Wow, this guiding bolt erupts into the water and strikes the creature, and you guys can actually now see this strange glow moving about in the water.
I'm going to do damage. It's 4d6.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damage. And that's 16 damage.
16 damage.
Thank you for the
Okay.
advantage. Mwah.
All right. Morthos, you're up. The only one left in the other canoe.
Can I try to position myself on the other side of the canoe to act as a counterweight whenever Ven would try to get back on the canoe?
You bet. Yep. Using your movement. You'll still have your full action and everything else because that's just using movement.
Okay, so I'll do that, and you know what? I'll do Witch Bolt.
Okay.
It's not a natural 1, but it's a 2, so it's damn near close.
Wow. Wow. Cold dice.
Wait.
Cold dice.
Do I still get advantage, or is it just the disadvantage and then the advantage?
I know you would have advantage because of Runa's guiding.
Cool.
So that's a good call.
True.
That is 17.
17. That's much better. That does hit. And Witch Bolt is a concentration spell, correct?
Yep. Up to 1 minute. Sorry, I just had to figure out what dice I needed to roll.
No worries.
6 total.
6 total. Okay. You further seem to damage this creature, and actually, you can kind of, almost weirdly enough, know where it is, because as you're concentrating on Witch Bolt, there is just this consistent line of lightning energy connecting you to this creature. All right. At this point, the plesiosaurs are going to go. You see them kind of almost turn away from you a little bit, and then come rushing back in with two tremendous attacks on your canoes. Both canoes get rocked again, and Morthos, you are now in probably water in the canoe. Probably about half of the canoe is still up out of the water, and the same as the rest of you. You guys have probably got maybe 2 rounds left with these canoes. Selenia, you are up. Remember to unmute yourself.
All right. How wide is the river?
From where you guys are, bank, I'll say you're probably still at least 60 feet away from the bank's edge, which conveniently is the same edge that Sin's axe is on.
Can you get that?
I wouldn't be able to get it back to you. I'm gonna try to help Ben get out the water.
Okay. I will allow you to use your full movement and action if you so wish. You won't be able to do anything else, but I'll allow you to use your full movement and action to actually pick her up and put her back in the canoe if you so wish.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. All right, that'll be your full turn.
Thank you.
Wait, can I put her in the other canoe that doesn't have water?
Both
as much water.
Both are sinking.
Okay. All right. Do that then.
All right. So then, as you're kind of floundering in the water, you see almost this heavenly angel come out of nowhere and swoop you up and just kind of plop you in the canoe, and then kind of hovers over top of the canoe. And thank God for Morthos' quick thinking, because with how Selenia put you in the canoe, it might have rocked you both back in. But Morthos seemed well prepared and counterbalances where he needs to. Excuse me. Now, Selenia's turn is done. Mr. T, you are up. What would you like to do? All right, you guys immediately watch as Mr. T turns to the rest of you, especially you, Runa, and he gets this look on his face and this smile. And you've seen this smile before. This is a dwarven.
Oh no!
Something's probably not going to go good. And he makes his way to the back of the canoe as much as he can, and he waits for just a half second until he sees a dark shape. And then he runs and leaps off the front of this canoe. Mr. T, I need you to make a attack roll. Normally this would be done at disadvantage, but thanks again to Gloss and Gadgets, you're at regular. And for those wondering, Azaka Stormfang is actually looking quite terrified at the moment. More terrified, it seems, about the water than anything. And Mr. T, that will hit the creature, so roll me some damage, please. All right, Mr. T, that has been applied. And for the for everyone in the party watching, you can now see that Mr. T has embedded his axe so thoroughly in the back of this creature that he is kind of riding it in a weird way.
That looks fun.
Well, if you'd like that.
Oh my god.
Too much for Ven. So is his axe embedded in the one that got messed up before, or
Yeah, you guys have all been kind of focusing your fire, or at least because nobody's told me any different, I've been assuming you have been. And
Okay.
it's looking pretty rough, pretty bloody, for sure.
and Morthos' witch bolt is connected to this one?
Yeah.
Okay, then I want to try and hit the other one.
Okay. And this will actually be at advantage from...
But I'm doing another magic missile, so
Okay.
not necessary.
Not
But thank
necessary.
you.
Well, the advantage will still apply for whoever has it next. So I guess everyone knows now the secret's out.
16 force damage.
16 force damage. Wow, this slams into the creature, and you actually honestly do hear kind of a muffled roar as it definitely seems to be in distinct and particular pain as this force kind of slams into it. Back to the top of the round. Sin, you are up.
Is there any way I can make myself back on a boat so I can use one of my hand axes?
You can try, for
I'm
sure.
gonna try.
Okay, which boat are you trying to pull yourself?
The one that's not sinking the most at the moment.
That's a question for philosophers.
All right, well, I'm just gonna hop in the closest to the one.
All right. Well, because Morthos and Ven is prepared, I'll say that you managed to get up onto the canoe. It does rock a little bit, and a bit you actually kind of pull a chunk off accidentally, just because the rest of the canoe is being so destroyed.
I would like to say Ven is very tempted to shove him out of the boat.
Well, you're not about to. Sin's very mad right now. And we all know what happens when Sin gets mad, right? Alright, so am I able to strike one of the heads right now?
Sure, why not? I'll say one pops its head out enough for you to take a swing. I've been pretty neat to you.
As Sin lost his axe and he made a fool of himself, jumping into the water on accident yet again and making one of his friends fall, he actually goes into a rage. Now, in that rage, there is something that shows to everybody, and that's his powers. So, with that being said, with him going into Berserker, he also gets lightning around him as an aura. So, he bursts out in a yell, and he screams, and lightning just comes and creates an aura around him, and it streaks lightning, and it actually hits people within 10 feet of him, so everybody has to make a dex save. Unfortunately, he can't control his power just yet.
Thanks for climbing into the other canoe, by the way.
No problem. It just came out of him.
He should have shoved him out.
Because you are technically, what's the direct wording on it? Is it 10-foot radius circle or sphere?
Circle.
Okay. Selenia, you're actually fine. Because technically you would be in this because you're floating 10 feet, but because it's not a sphere, it's a circle, you're fine.
So, yeah, he goes into a rage. And
so, Morthos and Ben, what'd you guys get for your dex saves?
21.
20.
Oh, wow. All right, do your attack.
All right, so he goes to strike with a hand axe.
You will have advantage for this from the advantage I was going to give to Ben, but this one is from Dungor Teb. Sorry if that's a really bad pronunciation, but that's the name.
Well, thank you. That is a 18.
18 hits for sure.
So he grabs this one hand axe at the side of his waist, and he just goes and strikes down on the head. And that will be 7 points of damage, and now I've got to roll for the lightning damage that he does. That is a 7. So he does 1 point of lightning damage and 6 physical.
Okay. So your axe does embed in this creature. However, the lightning strikes into the water, and you can actually... You get the distinct impression that not only have you hit the one creature, but you've hit pretty much everything in that radius. And you can actually see the lightning kind of skitter along the water, as this water does have enough detritus and salt content that it conducts electricity. So, Runa, you're up.
Yeah, I think, is it possible for me to move the canoe towards the bank and do an attack spell at the same time? Like movement and action here on land?
Basically, like I said, how I'm going to run it is you can use your full movement to get half movement out of the canoe. And then just drop the oar and do your full action.
Okay, because I'm left alone in this canoe with the guide, right? Who's scared to death, basically, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm encouraging her that we move towards the bank. So if the canoe is destroyed, we don't have to swim 60 feet in the water with those dinosaurs around us. And I'm going to cast Chill Touch after we moved for 15 feet, right? Half movement?
Yes.
15 feet towards the side of the river. I'm going to do another ranged spell attack then. And don't forget, people, those of you who have Bless can use a d4 on their attack rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 21 with the Bless. And
Very nice.
it's going to be 6 necrotic damage. So basically, I'm holding up my shield with the sign of Calimbor, the skeletal hand and the scales. And the skeletal hand is going to move out of the shield in a spectral form and slashing the dinosaur in the water.
Excellent. Okay, the one dino seems super critically injured, and in fact, you're not sure, but depending on what happens next, he might go down. Morthos, you're up.
Morthos will go ahead and move the canoe that he's in towards the bank, 15 feet.
Okay.
And he'll simply just snap his fingers and activate Witch Bolt again.
Yeah, I love that. I love that about Witch Bolt, man.
That's 8 total lightning damage.
All right, the lightning arcs into this creature. You see it twitch, and you think you've killed it for just a second, but it manages to kind of keep moving. And they both come to rear back and come to strike your canoes. Now, as they come to strike your canoes, and they are forced that you think, uh-oh, this could be it. This is where we're all launched into the water. This is where it's all over. All of a sudden, strangely enough, in the middle of the jungle, ice begins to form. These kind of platforms of ice begin coming from the coastline of the river and just kind of out towards you, and they encompass and circle your canoes. And the plesiosaurs kind of smack up. They seem unsure of what to do, and the ice actually spreads around your canoes enough that they actually don't have any reach on you at the moment. And also offers you a solid surface that you can perhaps escape on as well, if you'd like. So, Selenia, you're up. Remember to take yourself off mute.
Can I do like an investigation, see where that came from?
Yeah, actually, you can roll a perception check.
Alright, so which one's that?
That's a d20. Add your perception, and your perception is underneath your wisdom.
Okay. And then the modifier, the 7.
Yeah, you got it. How much did you get?
7.
7. All right, I will see if you see anything. Hey, there you go. I used the white dice and it gave me a 1. All right, so you actually do see a figure standing, trying to be as hidden as possible at the water's edge, and he seems to have his hand out, and coming from his hand seems to be a small degree of magical energy that is providing this ice, and seems to just be a regular human. In fact, not even Chulton.
Okay.
And he seems unaware that you've seen him. It's kind of one of those moments where you're at the right angle to see him, but maybe he hasn't seen you seeing him, kind of thing. He just seems permanently focused on providing this ice platform for you to walk on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
So
then what else do you need to do?
where are the dinosaurs at now?
The dinosaurs are currently kind of thrashing about, and Mr. T at this point has kind of detached his axe and jumped onto the ice off of the dinosaur, because he assumes that either A, the dinosaur is going to die, or dive deep below the water. So, bad news.
So
Mr. T at least had the forethought to jump off the dinosaurs, and they seem to just be kind of circling like predators do, kind of trying to find the weakness and trying to get to you guys, but that ice has actually, like I said, provided enough of good buffer that they can't reach you. Now, your canoes are encased in this ice, so you won't be able to take them with you. But should you like to leave, you can take all of your supplies and everything else with you. Mr. T, you're up after Selenia. If you're done, Selenia.
I'm gonna land on the ice.
Okay. Are you going to end your Radiant Soul, or are you going to keep your wings out just for now?
Just keep them out for now.
Okay. Okay. Make me some attack rolls, Mr. Okay, first one hits for a 16 for the viewers. With 13 damage. So you guys watch as the Plesiosaur, with Mr. T on the edge of the ice, the Plesiosaur sees this and kind of sees it as a chance to get a meal out of this, and it comes in for an attack. However, Mr. T deftly dodges it out of the way and slams into this creature, severing the head with his weapon, and the head just kind of flops onto the ice in this bloody mess. And then you immediately see him turn around for his action surge for the viewers, so you know what he's using. He turns around for his action surge and runs at the other one, manages to hit a natural 20, and roll me some damage, Mr. T. For the crit. And deals 18 damage to this Plesiosaur in the back of its body, his weapon sinking deep. This does not kill the second Plesiosaur, but it does chase it off. It seems to sink below the water, and you guys don't see it again. What would you like to do now? You are out of initiative, just so you're aware.
We should probably gather our stuff and get to shore.
Okay. So everybody does so. Everybody grabs every. Sin is already probably ice, looking for his axe.
I'm grabbing all the stuff in our canoe, and then I'm yelling at Mr. T. Well done! Now stop playing with those beasts and come out of the water.
Yeah, he's already way ahead. He's kind of encouraging you all to run. As you run, Selenia, because you've seen this figure before, I will say you managed to see this figure just kind of. He does the whole Homer Simpson gif thing. He just kind of.
He just disappears, or he just backs in?
He just backs in it. You could probably catch him if you wanted to.
Can I?
Yeah. So you guys immediately see Selenia go flying off, seemingly at nothing. Selenia, I'd like you to make just a regular strength check, please. D20, add your strength score.
Is that the... Okay. Figure it out.
The little modifier, not the big number, the small number.
By the way, Bless should be still in... Oh no, you were in the other boat.
No, I
I
don't.
had it, sorry.
8.
8. All right. This figure, apparently seemingly confident that he had hidden, turned around. So essentially, you come flying through the low foliage like a Valkyrie bullet charged by wings, and you just smoke this guy. And just with this, you just kind of slam him into the dirt. You kind of pin him down. It's a man with kind of short brown hair, a very kind of short, well-kept little beard, seemingly wearing just leathers. Now, interestingly enough, you feel cold. For the first time in being in this hot, hot jungle, you're actually a little chilled all of a sudden.
She
The rest of you kind of see. Sorry for interrupting, Daniel. I'll get to you in a sec. The rest of you see Selenia disappear into the foliage. You guys hear something. You're not really sure. At this point, Sin comes running up and he kind of gives you all this kitty look as he shows his axe, and he's like, "Look, I got a pet. Selenia, what would you like to do?
She has her foot on his chest and spear to his face.
Okay.
And she's like, "Who are you? And can I use intimidation on him?"
Yeah, absolutely. Make an intimidation check, please.
That's what the D20,
Yeah.
right?
You gotcha. Our new players growing up, guys.
So, my intimidation's a 6. So how do I do this? Do I add it and then add the modifier?
Yep.
Yep.
Got a 16.
Ooh. Okay. He immediately kind of throws up his hands and he's kind of like, could you get off my chest, please?
She lifts her foot but keeps the spear.
Okay. Says, oh, for a woman, you've sure got a lot of muscle behind that. Remind me of someone I used to know. The name's Artis. Artis Simber. And you looked like you needed a hand.
I'll appreciate that. Now what are you doing here?
I'm looking for something. What are you doing here?
Also looking for something.
Can I get up now?
No.
All right.
He's just gonna wait for the others.
Yeah, I would like to say that Ven kind of chased after him.
Okay. Do the rest of you kind of follow along?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. You guys kind of come into an area, and she's got this guy. She's standing directly over top of him. Spear point a millimeter away from piercing skin. And like I said, he's just a very simple man, long brown hair, short brown little beard, pale, definitely pale. He's not Chulton for sure. And the air around him is distinctly colder than everywhere else. It's kind of relieving, actually. It's like stepping into air conditioning after you've been out in a hot, humid day all day. It's kind of nice in a weird way. Uh-oh. Okay. Runa, we've lost you, Runa. I'm sure Runa will be. She can hear us. Is your cam went dead? There you are. There you are.
I'm back.
Okay, so what would you guys all like to do? You guys kind of clearing. Selenia has this man pinned. What would you wish to do now?
I want to cast Mage Armor and then hide behind Selenia. She seems to have it handled.
Okay.
I would like to take a look around to see if he's alone or if someone is trying to sneak up on us.
Okay, make a perception check.
That was not good. That's a 9.
You don't see anyone. What would the rest of you like to do?
Sin just stands watch, lowering his berserker. That way lightning doesn't crackle around anybody.
Noticing kind of all of this go down, the man that has introduced himself as Artis says, "Look, I really don't mean you guys any harm. There's no need to prepare yourselves for battle."
I guess you saved us, right? Did you create the ice on the river?
Yeah. something.
Then we owe you our thanks, and I'm placing a gentle hand on Selenia's arm. Please let him get up.
He says, all you need to do to repay me is let me up.
She points her spear, takes her spear away, and then lets him up.
Okay. As he gets up, Mr. T walks over and just kind of nonchalantly, hey, right on, man. Just gives him a fist bump. Artist is kind of like, you're welcome. Kind of fist bump the dwarf back. You guys are an odd group of friends.
Thanks again for helping us. My name is Runa Rikasdottir. I'm a servant of Kellimvor. And who are you?
He says, my name's Artis. Artis Simber.
You look as if you're not from around here.
I'm not.
Where are you
Like
from,
you
Artis?
guys. I'm from the mainland. Says, oh, I don't even know if my home stands anymore. But he says, I used to frequent Cormyr quite a lot.
Can I see where Azaka is?
Azaka is currently lighting a fire and seems to be like warming herself by the fire, almost as if she's got a little bit of like PTSD from being that close to water or something. It's strange. And she's kind of just off. Plus, you guys are kind of doing your thing and she's kind of a part of the party. She's more of like an employee, so she's kind of just letting the bosses do their thing.
By the way, I'm checking everyone over. Is anyone hurt?
It doesn't appear so, actually. It doesn't appear like anybody actually ever took damage. Your best guess is these creatures getting used to the way travelers move down the water have learned that it's best to remove their mode of transportation and then go after the kill, because they probably, as animals do, they learn and evolve, and they've probably learned that it's much easier to catch prey when they are slower than you in the water.
Okay.
Artist is kind of, you watch as actually he reaches down and he puts on some gloves, actually. Some leather gloves. He had his gloves off, but he manages to put on some gloves. And after he puts on some gloves, you note that he actually relaxes a little bit.
Was he wearing a robe or something? Can I identify him as an ice mage or something like that?
You don't see anything necessarily that would indicate him being a mage. You do note that there is a dagger at his belt that seems rather ornate in make. So you guess that perhaps he does have some magical things or abilities. All you can really see is the hilt of the dagger. Now, the hilt of the dagger is interesting. It is wrapped and made to almost look like the spine of a very old tome or book.
Okay.
Is that something I would be able to recognize?
No, it catches your eye. Kind of strange that the hilt of a dagger looks kind of strangely like the spine of a book. And Artis kind of catches you all kind of looking at it, and he says, "Oh, I've had this for a while. This has got me out of much trouble. I call it bookmark."
Fitting.
Absolutely.
I thought so. It's a magical dagger. Try not to show people too much, because you never know who you can trust. He immediately puts it back into his belt, and he kind of flips his kind of leather jerkin over it a little bit so that Nobody tries to steal it right away.
So what are you looking for?
When you say this to Lemia, his eyes get a very, very distant look about them. And he says, something that I've been looking for. More importantly, someone.
Sin says, who are you looking for?
My wife.
Why would she be here?
She was from here.
So she returned or she was taken?
She always lived here. She never wanted, no matter how many convinced her. Then when Mesro fell. But it's unimportant.
Well, maybe we can help you on this quest if you help us with ours.
Well, me and my traveling companion generally like going with other people.
You say
Too
traveling
much
companion.
trouble follows us.
You say traveling companion. Is he here or is she here?
He should be along shortly.
Should we worry about him as well, or should we just be okay?
No. He can take care of himself pretty good.
Okay.
Have you been underway here in the jungle for a while, or did you just arrive?
Because, to be honest, don't know. What year is it?
That's a weird question. It's 1493.
Been here a while.
Okay.
Anything else?
Do you know anything about the death curse that is plaguing the land?
No.
You don't. Can I make an insight
Sure.
check to see if he truly is as
Sure.
confused as he
Absolutely.
looks? That's an 18.
18. There is definitely a sense that he is trying to dodge all of your questions and give you guys only just enough. He's basically pulling the corrupt politician that's been caught move. You know what I mean? He's answering your questions enough that he feels like you would be satiated, but there is definitely something or multiple things that he is trying to keep you from knowing or is not willing to tell you.
Okay.
Not necessarily, I will say, not necessarily think he is hostile towards you, but more he just does not trust you, like worth an ounce of anything. However, as you guys kind of are standing there, all of a sudden, the smell of honeysuckle fills all of your noses. And Artis is like, oh, there's my friend now. It's all right, you can come out. They're friends, I guess. And all of a sudden, you guys hear a rustle, and coming out from behind the foliage is this creature. And none of you have ever seen a kind of creature like this before. He seems to be like a dinosaur, but he walks on 2 feet, just like a human. And in fact, looks like a human apart from He also looks like a dinosaur. His head ends in a very kind of dino face, and he's got just a little bit of a point off the back of his head, almost like a pteranodon's point, but not quite. And he wears just a simple kind of brown, almost acolyte's tunic, nothing garish, no symbols or anything on it. And just with kind of a brown cloak draped over his shoulders, a gold circular clasp around holding the cloak in, just a belt. And you do note that he has a rather nice looking sword at his side. And all of a sudden, the honeysuckle smell changes to lemon, a potent smell of lemon.
Can you smell that?
Artis says, "Oh yeah, he doesn't talk. That's how he communicates. He says, you'll get used to it.
Okay.
I call him Dragon Bait."
That's an unfortunate name if it should come to pass. But not to the newcomer. Basically, he looks like a little bit like a lizard folk, right?
A little bit more like dino folk. So very much a dinosaur. And I'll apologize to you guys right now, to the viewers. I had this whole thing planned where I was going to be able to show you guys all the artwork and everything that's for the campaign, but unfortunately that program decided to go into deep cardiac arrest this morning. So we're back to theater of the mind for this session. But hopefully soon I'll have that up and running and all the kinks out that I can show you guys. And perhaps maybe on the Twitter or something, maybe we'll post, hey, this is Dragon Bait or something. I don't know. But apologies. I wish I could show you everything, but I can't. All right.
Is super intrigued by what he looks like, and he kind of moves forward and very close to him and takes a big whiff, and he takes in the lemon smell, and he's like, "Oh, you're a very intriguing creature."
As you move close to him, the creature kind of moves back, and you see his hand go onto the sword just slightly, and all of a sudden that lemon smell changes to ham.
Probably something shouldn't smell. I'm hungry.
Do you know what smell means what? I ask Artis.
He says, well, for the most part, I mean, every once in a while he comes up with a new one. Probably just worried about your big friend over there.
Oh, he's just so intriguing. What is he? He is something I've never seen before.
Don't worry about him. He's practically a puppy.
The ham gets a little bit more pungent. And Artis is like, it's all good. Just come over here. And immediately Dragon Bait moves away from Sin. And immediately you guys smell, as he kind of moves closer to Artis, you guys smell distinct wood smoke.
Ugh, that smells terrible.
So, thanks for your help on the river.
Says, no problem. I try to give assistance where I can.
Where are you heading next? Maybe we can travel together for a while. Safety in numbers and all that.
Says, maybe. I'm off to Mbala.
Okay. Is that one of the fallen cities in the jungle?
Yeah, it was a city. It sat on the edge of the Aldani Basin. I'm looking for something near there.
Have you heard anything about this city? We heard about Mesra, right?
He says, Mesro used to be the capital city. Chult. It was destroyed hundreds of years.
Did you say Imbala?
Yeah.
She's gonna share with the group that her experience back at the market. That a stranger told her about heading there. She don't know why. Something important
not
there.
necessarily heading directly to Mbala, but heading to a place called Oralunga, which is apparently east of Mbala.
Maybe we
You
need
were
to go
told
there.
to Umbala, right? Selenia.
Selenia was told to go seek out the Guardian at Oralunga, which is east of Mbala.
And that's the same place where Arthur is heading, right?
Artis is headed to Mbala, yes.
I'm confused.
Mbala is the central that is connecting it all. Selenia's destination is beyond Mbala, east of it.
Okay. I see. So we are basically
You're kind of headed in the same
in the
direction.
same direction. That's what
Kind
I
of.
want to know.
But you also still have to deal with
Yeah.
Azaka, who at this point wanders up and she says, "But first, we deal with my master."
Yes.
As was promised.
Should we try to make
That's
camp then?
kind of a picture of Dragon Bait, Henrik. Kind of. I have one. I'll put it up in the chat for everybody. Sorry, viewers. My players are special. So what else would you guys like to do?
Should we try to make?
Our-
I was going to suggest
Say-
that we camp together.
Artist says those.
You help us, we'll help you, she said.
Gotten too many people killed who tried to.
Well, we are a big party of a
Mm.
lot.
You didn't care
We're a
less?
resilient
Yeah.
bunch.
That's true.
Sure looked like you were floundering again. Theseus.
We killed one and almost had the other.
Okay.
We're doing much better on solid ground, I promise.
I'm sure. And him and Dragonbait seem to kind of distance themselves from the party a little bit. They're still kind of in camp, but they are very much trying to be by themselves. And Azaka kind of looks after him and she says, "Not like him. No, that other one with him. Don't like them both."
You don't like water either, apparently.
Says, "No. A person is entitled to their own fears, and I have a number of them."
I feel as though we should have been warned of your fears before we departed with you on a boat.
She says, "Well, normally plesiosaurs do not attack that quickly. And normally when I guide, we have time to get ashore. I am fine being on the water. It is in the water that I have issue. And I did warn you of one of my fears. I told you I don't do heights." And she kind of seems she seems to get a little bit kind of terse with you. She's not necessarily happy asking all these questions, and so she kind of, I will go hunting, she
Do you need
Goodbye.
said. What was that, Sin?
company? Do you want company?
Says, no, I will be fine. It is my job after all. She just kind of walks off into the jungle.
Sin's slowly starting to not trust her.
You and me both.
It's really weird. She seemed so confident as we met her in the city under attack, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
then the fact that she is starting to show her true colors, I don't like it.
All right.
Something
So-
to keep in mind.
After about half an hour, with Artis and Dragonbait just sitting nearby eating rations, Azaka does come back out of the jungle. She seems to have caught a couple of monkeys, and she actually kind of flings them down. She seems to have brought them down with her bow, and she immediately begins stripping them and gutting them. She takes all the innards out and throws them into the water, takes the skin out, and she kind of looks at the rest of you and goes, do any of you want this?
I've never eaten monkey.
You don't eat the
Sounds
skin. I'm talking about the skin. Do you want the skin?
No, thank you.
No.
Mr. Tarask immediately walks up. Yeah, sure, hand it over. And she kind of hands over one pelt, and he kind of immediately rolls it up, and he kind of wanders down to the water's edge, and you see him kind of put his hand in, and he pulls his hand back out, uses the rolled up monkey fur to kind of dry him. Perfect! And he throws it back.
That is very.
And then you watch Azaka spit the monkeys, and she begins cooking the monkeys over a fire. Sin, you may not have eaten monkey, but boy, does that smell good.
Well, Sin is very intrigued now. He's just very taken back by possibly eating a monkey. Do they taste like bananas?
Azaka says, no, they taste like monkey. And she says, I figured we may need to do more hunting like this if we are to get out of the jungle. I don't imagine our canoes are in very good shape, if they still exist at all.
Can that be something that Morthos would go investigate or check out? If the canoes are even still there?
Sure, and they are not. They have sunk.
Sin goes, no, my canoe. I wrote Sin on it.
You did.
All that gold.
Mm.
Yes.
Money is irrelevant.
Well, I'll
Spoken
Says you.
as someone who always had one.
well, Morthos will probably start forging.
Mr. T kind of looks at Morthos, who I believe... No, Ven, and kind of looks at Ven and goes, yeah, you know all about my love for money, don't you? This kind of gives you an extra little look. And he says, I don't even carry my gold around. I gave it all to you guys.
You gave it all to me, to be more specific. And I pat the pouch.
He says, of course I gave it to you. I trust you the most.
Careful with that pouch. It smells, I'm sure.
Mm.
And
I used some incense on it.
Mr. T says, oh, nothing gets out that good dwarven smell.
Gross.
The sun begins setting, and the night kind of settles in. And Azaka, you can see kind of, as the kind of last vestiges of light kind of settle down over the canopy, and you've just got the beautiful kind of reds and golds that you get right before it kind of fully sets into darkness. She says, "Tonight is the night. It is the night I get it back finally."
Are we close enough to sneak up on those Pterafolk in the Firefinger
Yes, I
tower?
think so. I think we can make it. I think it is possible, yes. We must hurry.
Okay.
If we cannot sneak up on them during the night or during the rain, we have no hope.
Then we should get started.
Yes, let's go.
She immediately just kind of bolts off into the jungle. Now that you guys are kind of like, yeah, you head off into the jungle, not really aware of who's coming with. Yes, Mr. T, you did get a short rest, and for anybody else, if you'd like to, you would have gotten the benefits of a short rest, sitting and eating dinner before adventuring off into Firefinger. And it takes you a couple of hours, and by this time, night has fully set in. Azaka does not allow any of you to light a torch, so those that have dark vision are fine. Those that aren't kind of have to rely on everybody else. You do note very clearly that Artist and Dragonbait did not come with you as you arrive to Firefinger. And in fact, as you kind of get closer, you can kind of see it peeking out of the jungle foliage. As you get closer, you actually guys come upon a body. And this body seems to be that of a broken and mangled elf. Rib cage crushed in, limbs broken, kind of splayed about in this like grotesque, weird kind of thing. You're not sure, kind of at first glance, how this person died.
Can I do
Looks
a
like
medicine
they've been
check?
here a little bit. Yeah, you can do a medicine check.
Yeah. I rolled a 17, so that's 23.
Oh. You kind of get down and kind of CSI the body, kind of roll it over just enough to kind of see what's going on. And without a doubt, you can tell that this person either fell or was dropped from a great height.
Oh, we know that's the favorite form of killing that the Pterafolk use, right? That's what Azaka told us.
You guys, what's up, Ben?
Is the body like clothed?
No, completely stripped.
Okay. All right.
You move on, and about 10 minutes later, oh, there's another body. About 5 minutes later, oh, there's another body. And another one. And another one. Oh. And then you arrive at the tower after seeing the kind of radius of the killing fields of the Pterafolk. You arrive at this tower. Firefinger stretches up into the sky in front of you. The face of the tower that you are looking at seems to have a ladder that extends some 60 feet up this tower to an open cave. Now, the ladder looks not the best repair. Might be something you need to kind of take it a little bit easy on. But looking now, looking now, you can see that Firefinger stretches about 300 feet in the sky.
Morthos would look over the ladder and would say, I think if we were to climb this, we should go up one at a time.
Yeah, good call. It doesn't look too sturdy, right?
Yeah, I would assume more weight would just break it.
Coming from the big guy.
Exactly. So maybe I should go first?
It'd be a
See,
good stress
Or
test.
less.
well, yeah.
If I get stuck down here,
Then we're fine.
Azaka says, I will wait here.
Have you any idea where your mask might be hidden inside? Is there something like a treasure?
She says, I assume it is the top.
Okay.
And Mr. T also, and he's like, I'll go up if the big guy doesn't first. I'm not afraid of heights. And he seems to go off and talk about, back when I was stood on the catwalk 300 feet above molten. I was fine.
Ven wants to start climbing to get away from him.
All right, Sin, are you going up first then?
I mean, I might as well test the weight.
Okay.
If you all go one at a time, I can give everyone guidance. One after the
Sounds
other.
good to me.
I can only have it active on one person. So if you just wait till the other one's up, it should work.
Does the ladder go up the full 300 feet or just to a landing?
No, just 60 feet to a landing. In fact, I have very, very quickly, so try not to pay attention too much to what you see on the sides, but I have very, very quickly managed to be able to show you kind of what Firefinger looks like. So you can see that it's just this big spire, a bunch of ladders kind of going up and down out of different caves, and then it ends in this big flat top with this plume of fire coming out of a beacon on the top.
Cool.
So you guys are kind of right down in there, and you can see that the ladder goes up 60 feet to a cave opening.
Sin walks
Okay.
over and he starts to climb.
I
Before,
give you guidance.
yeah, there we go. He goes and starts climbing.
All right. Excellent. I need you to make an athletics check.
Add 1d4 to that.
That's a 19.
19. You climb up the ladder like it's nothing. And you manage to get all 60 feet up. You guys see Sin pull himself, kind of waves back down at you guys.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay.
I give you guidance. I'm standing beside the ladder, and just as soon as someone passes me, blessing of Cannonball.
Well, what about, can you guidance yourself when you go up?
I think so.
Okay, so do I need to make a roll?
Athletics check, please. Yep.
Okay. That's an 8.
Okay. The ladder creaks and groans for some strange reason, even though you are smaller and way less heavier than Sin. It seems to have a much bigger problem with you going up, but you do manage to get up. Nothing breaks. Seem okay. It was a bit tense at a couple of spots, but
And insulted.
I guess by a ladder. I mean, I don't know. You rode it. All right, who's going next?
I guess Morthos will then.
Okay. And Mr. T would, but he's going to be right back, so I can't make him roll. I'll roll for her. I don't know his athletics. Never mind. Go, Morthos. Roll an athletics check.
And guidance I add to it as well.
Yes, go forth with the blessing of Cannonball.
You are literally that priest that stands at the exit to church and
Yes.
just like,
14 total.
14. Morthos, you get up the you get up, and Mr. T, seeing you guys go up quite as high as you do, he says, "Oh, maybe I'll go last so we don't get stabbed in the back."
Assuming it's my turn. I'm gonna ask Azaka why it's not coming.
He says, "I told you, I don't do heights."
She can watch the rain catcher and the other stuff.
He says,
You
"Yes,
don't have to.
I will make a
get
camp
around.
nearby and watch for you to come back down."
I guess she'll head to the ladder and start to go up.
Okay. Did you give him guidance?
Yes, I do.
Well, how much does the guidance give?
You roll a d20 and a d4,
And the D.
and then you add your modifier to your athletics.
$26.
Wow. Didn't
Yeah,
need that
that's
guidance
impressive.
after all.
Okay. Your 26 gets you right up, nimble like a monkey. You scramble up the ladder. The ladder seemingly only having. That leaves Mr. T and Runa back down on the ground. So who's going next? Mr. T has said he'd go last, but it's up to you, Runa, really.
Okay. He says he won't. I can't give you guidance if you are waiting down here. Don't be stubborn. Go ahead. Don't need
He says,
guidance.
"Oh, I don't need you to waste that kind of stuff on me, Runa. I'm perfectly fine."
I've
Kind of
seen
stretches
guidance.
out. And he says,
Guidance.
"Did you see me ride that dinosaur back there?"
I saw, and that's why I think you need guidance. But okay, I will go before.
Okay.
I give myself guidance because that's one willing creature, and
Yeah, I would assume you're definitely willing.
I am, and that's 15.
15. All right, you get up as well. And Mr. T, I need a roll from you. Athletics check, please. And Mr. T gets up, and you can see that he is by no means trying to be gentle on this ladder. And he just kind of clogs up this ladder, and you can see swings and sways, and you can hear the creak of the ropes from the poles that's kind of coming off of. But he does manage to get up, and he kind of stretches out, and he kind of looks at you, Rune, and he goes, "See?"
Fair enough.
Then.
And you guys are standing in a chamber that looks like that. So obviously the green on the outside is the sky, kind of the outside of the tower.
Okay.
This kind of solid rock. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse very well, but the solid rock. Here, I'm just going to use Selenia. Oh, crap. Hold on. I screwed something up. Don't know where Selenia went. Selenia, you disappeared on me. Oh, there you are. So I'm going to use Selenia to as my kind of mouse pointer for the time being. So you guys can see that this over here, like where her token all is solid rock you can't get through. Here is the area that you guys could actually move around. Basically, the thick black line is indicative of places you can't go. But you guys all moved in. You're not necessarily in the position that your colors but I'm just assuming that you guys are all kind of standing in the mouth of this cave. You can see there is a pit that sits there. I'm not sure if you can see that very well behind, but it's a 10-foot wide, 10-foot deep pit. Seems to have plenty of handholds if a person wanted to climb down and back out of it to get to the other side. You figure that you might be able to jump it if you got like a running start, maybe, but you're not sure. Uh-oh, we lost someone.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, there he is. We're all good. So, what would you guys like to do? Tell me.
Should probably move forward and see what we can find in here.
Okay. Without another word, Mr. T takes a running jump at the pit, and he kind of, and he gets within a foot, literally within a foot of the edge, and just kind of, oh shit, and falls into the pit, and just kind of rolls down this pit and kind of lands, and he kind of laughs it off, and he shakes it off, and that was fun. And then he goes, and he kind of looks around, and he goes, oh shit. And immediately you can see why he says, oh shit, as 4 giant spiders that were hiding in the niches and cracks of the bottom of this pit all come out for dinner time. Everyone roll initiative.
Mr. T, you probably should stop going on your own.
I rolled a 4.
All right.
3.
Sim
18.
and she got 3 as well. Ben, you're the only one.
8.
8, and Selenia.
20.
I think most of us don't care for spiders. That's why our initiative is so low, right?
I guess so. All right. So, top of the round, it is Selenia, and if you guys actually give me a second, I can. I'll stop screen sharing, and I'll actually set up your battle map. But Selenia, you just tell me for the time being what you'd like to do.
So are we like above the pit?
You're above the pit, yeah.
And we can see right down.
Technically, Mr. T's like down there. And
I'm gonna pull out my shield and my sword. Or no, I'm gonna go with the spear. So shield and spear.
okay.
And then cast Shield of Faith on him.
Okay. Which grants him an additional +2, I believe, to his AC.
First time using it.
Not sure if you guys can see them very well, but your spiders are there.
Yeah, it adds a +2 to his AC.
We can see him.
And it's concentration up to 10 minutes. And range is 60 feet.
All right. Okay.
And I tell Runa she needs to start putting a chain on him.
You know what? I think I agree.
It's a good idea.
All right, that took an action, Selenia, for you to cast your Shield of Faith.
Okay.
No, I'm asking, did it take an action?
Oh,
I don't think it does.
it's a bonus action.
Okay, so that's your bonus action. So you still actually have an action of movement, whatever you'd like to do.
I guess I'm gonna slide down to him.
Okay.
So, what do I gotta roll? Do I roll anything?
Just roll a quick athletics check.
25.
25. Okay, you managed to kind of get down and you kind of slide down on your feet, kind of like scree sliding or whatever it's called. When have you ever seen those crazy videos of the people sliding down mountains?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, and you kind of very bravely jump down, and you've got your stuff. So I will move you down, and you are right next to a spider. So if you'd like, you can actually attack said spider.
Which one? Because they're like on the map. They're both
This guy. Can you see the pointer?
Yeah. I'm gonna stab him with my spear, one-handed.
Okay, make an attack roll.
It's a D6. 10. No, it's a 5. And then attack. Do I add the attack bonus to that?
Yeah.
So it would be 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You hit 10.
Yep.
10 does not hit the spider, as the spider manages to move out of the way. So, next up is Sin. Where would you like to go?
Sin is going to run and try and jump on top of the spider and slam his axe into them.
All right, because you were coming from up above, I am going to give you advantage because of this, and yeah, good.
Do I need to roll athletics?
No, just a straight attack roll because you're landing on the creature.
Okay, cool. $19.
19 hits this spider. Deal some damage.
Sweet. That is 12.
12 damage. All right. You come slamming down with your axe now firmly in your hands. Full on, yeah, that exact move. And you bring that axe right in and split its face right between the pincers. And it just kind of gives this little, like, and just falls. And the entire body kind of splays out below you, and you just kind of land looking all badass on this spider, having killed it just one shot. So I will delete that spider and put you there. Come on. There. No. Go there. Thank you. All right. Next up in the round is the spiders. The spiders are going to move up, 2 on Selenia and 1 on Mr. T, and they are going to make a round of attacks. Mr. T, I'll do you first. Mr. T is going to manage to not get hit by the spider, who rolled a 14, which is 2 away from his AC. And the other 2 spider attacks on Selenia, those aren't very good either, is a 10 and a 12, which also does not hit Selenia. So, that's the spider's turn. And also, yeah, Mr. T's AC is 18 currently because of Selenia. So, then you're up.
I'm going to fireball a spider.
Excellent. Fireball or firebolt?
Bolt. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Not gonna waste fireball.
Very, very different spells.
That's a 24.
Oh yeah, that hits. I'm assuming you're attacking this guy here, the one kind of right in front of you.
Sure. Yeah, if it's right in front of me, I'm gonna hit it. And that is 8 fire damage.
8 fire damage. Okay. This spider does not like that in the slightest, and you seem to critically injure it, actually singeing a couple of its legs to the point where it almost seems useless. Like the couple of legs. So I mean, one more hit probably and it's going down. Runa, you're up. Runa?
Sorry, I forgot to press the button.
That's okay.
Okay,
I'm very concerned for a second.
I'm saying it all again. I stay up on tap because I think it's getting too crowded if everyone jumps in there. And the spider in front of Mr. T is still alive, right?
Yeah, there's one spider here, if you can see my little blue pointer.
Yeah.
One spider here, here.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to attack the one at Mr. T's.
Okay, what are you attacking it with?
I'm casting Chill Touch again because it's 120 feet range and I can make a spell attack. Because I think they have a high dexterity, so Sacred Flame wouldn't work so good.
There you go.
And that's 16.
16 also hits.
Hey, very good. Oh, max damage. 8 points of necrotic damage.
Excellent. Same one that Mr. T was on. You also critically injured this spider. They do not look like they're doing well against you guys. Morthos, you are up.
All right. I'm going to summon my Packed Rapier.
Excellent.
And for my bonus action first, I will cast Hexblade Curse on that spider that's closest to me or right next to me.
Okay, the spider.
Yep, that one.
Okay, cool.
And,
He is critically injured.
I'll go ahead and attack it.
Awesome. You will actually have advantage on this attack. 1, because you are at height, and 2, because Exilium gave you advantage.
Thank you.
Your token. Put you where you were.
That is 23 to hit.
23 hits. Smokes the spider, in fact.
Uh, 10 total.
10 total. Okay, so as this spider kind of rears away that came and seared off a couple of its legs, and it tries to kind of tentatively climb the side of the pit to get out of this pit, Morthos, you just step up and just stab that rapier directly into its face, and the spider just falls back, and you see its kind of legs curl in on itself, very atypically like a dead spider. All right, next up is Mr. T, who, Mr. T, you're up. Your 18 hits. Assign me some damage. I'm assuming you're attacking. And damage 13. So Mr. T looks back at Sin and he says, "Oh, you think you're good?" And he slams right into the spider, killing it dropping it, and he looks back at Sin and he says, "See, I don't need to do no jumps to make sure my spider dies."
Then just yells, "Yeah!"
All right, and back to the top of the round. Selenia, you are up. And by the way, Sin, Mr. T fist bumped you back.
Woody.
So that spider's directly in front of me.
Yeah, you bet. The last spider is directly in front of you.
I'm gonna attack it with my spear. One hit, and I'm using the wrong die. That's a 10 again.
A 10 to hit? 10,
I
unfortunately.
rolled a 10, and then my attack bonus is 10.
Your attack bonus is also 10?
I messed up. I mean, I rolled a 5, and then my attack bonus is 5.
Oh, okay. I hear you. No, you did the math right. Unfortunately, though, that 10 misses as the spider seems to manage to dodge out of the way of your thrust.
Just don't like spiders.
Sin, you are up.
To kind of not one up Mr. T, but I'm just gonna give it a little flair. I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master, and it is before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a 5 or negative or -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack hits, you add +10 to the attack's damage.
All right. Let's see it.
So that is a 7 + 6, so that is 12 or 13.
Wow.
Sorry, and
13?
does that hit?
13 hits, yes.
And that is a total of 19 damage to that spider.
19. Okay, so you guys watch as Sin comes in with an amazing with this axe, and he comes swinging it in, manages to impale the spider on his axe, and then you see his corded muscles ripple as he lifts the spider up and then chops directly straight through it as if he's chopping a stubborn log with his axe. And it just severs this spider lengthways right down its spine, and it just falls apart.
As I do this, I look at Mr. T and I'm just like, oh yeah.
And we are out of initiative as you guys have defeated the 4 giant wolf spiders. And Mr. T looks back at you, Sin, and he kind of just gives you a look of pure approval.
That's good. Very good.
And then he says, "I'm still not letting you forget about throwing your axe."
In due time.
Right, where would you guys like to go next?
We are still standing up there, right? So I turned.
Yeah.
I turned to Morthos and say, "Too bad that this artist wasn't around. He wouldn't say we were floundering if he saw that, right?"
Totally agreed.
On land, we are awesome.
Oh,
You guys are such land badasses.
Absolutely.
All right, where would you guys like to go next?
Well,
Mr.
we've gotta
T,
go later, don't
Mr. T kind of looks up at Morthos, then, and Runa, who are all still standing on the ledge, and he kind of wanders over towards Morthos, and he kind of looks up at you like a child that's fallen down a hole, and just holds up his hands, and he's like, "You want to help me out of here?"
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get down and help him out.
I help. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, it's very easy, lots of hand. So together, everybody helps everybody, and you are all standing up on the edge of this pit. Unless you didn't
Or,
want to.
Can I investigate the hole first?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
How do you do that? So under wisdom,
Investigation is under intelligence.
oh, okay. I see it now. 11.
11 for your investigation. You do manage to find. Yeah, you do manage to find a small scrap of cloth, and wrapped inside this small scrap of cloth, you find 2 copper coins.
Money, money. And then back the rest, everyone else.
All right,
You gonna
so you'll
split that?
climb back out.
You guys don't know about that.
So you guys can very clearly see that it kind of circles around over here, and there's really no other place to go except for, unfortunately, either across or back down the pit and back out the other side. Which you guys can do, because you can see the crispy, cut up, mangled spider bodies that you've left down in that pit.
So let's follow that way, right? That leads upwards, right?
You're not sure?
We can test.
All right, so together you all go down. I'm not going to move because then we can move the story along. Together you all go down and come up on the other pit, and you do indeed see a rock, perhaps chimney, right where it circles and says up to 2 there. You do in fact see a rock chimney that seems to lead up higher into the tower. It has plenty of handholds, but does seem to twist and bend frequently, and you're not sure how high it goes.
Is it dark in here, or are there like torches or something?
Yeah, it is now dark in here. There, you guys
Good.
are moving up in night, so it is really dark.
Alright, well, dark vision. So.
I can cast light. I could cast it on my.
No, please don't.
I could also do that too.
I do a lot better in the darkness.
I guess you're
I
going
don't.
first.
Fine.
I'm grabbing hold of Mr. T's shoulder because he has dark vision and I don't, and I trust him to lead me into the right direction.
Okay. He does put like a comforting hand on yours that's on his shoulder, and he just says, "I've got it. Don't worry." And who's going up first?
I will.
Okay. I need you to make a athletics check, Ben.
Yeah, this house is cursed. It's another nat 1. I don't trust
Maybe
any
for
of my
you.
dice.
It's cursed for you.
You rolled 1 too.
Yeah, I rolled 1-1.
All right, so you guys watch as Ven kind of makes it probably about 5 feet up, and then a rock just kind of detaches from the wall that she's climbing, and she's kind of like, and just about gets out the word until she kind of lands back on, and she's like, crap.
Have a nice fall.
Shut up.
Sin just, offers a hand to help her back up.
I accept
That-
with dignity.
Sin helps you back up.
I'll go up next. I'll try next.
All right, Selenia, roll an athletics check.
Should we do the same thing that we did
19.
with the letter, one after the other, in guidance?
You got 19, Selenia?
Yeah.
All right, you guys watch as Selenia just kind of seems to shake her head in answer to you. And you actually lose sight of her as she kind of twists around the bend. And then after a period of time, you would probably hear her say something back down as if she found the end.
Um,
I would assume you would anyway, Selenia, but...
yeah. Can I say it's clear? Like, can I look and make sure it's clear?
Yeah, you seem to be standing in a small opening of a chamber, perhaps a tunnel that's going to lead into kind of a wider chamber. But for the time being, you figure that it's at least clear enough that all of your friends could follow you up.
All right. Tell them to come on up.
All right, who's next? Oh, Stim? Perfect.
If you want
Athletics check,
guidance-
please, Stim.
I don't think I need guidance with that
It's okay.
18.
No, you don't.
All right. Very much the same as Selenia. Sin, not to be outdone, just immediately straps his axe to his back and climbs up the hole.
Show offs.
Very effective.
I think
right.
Morthos will give it a try next, but he's gonna need the guidance.
Here you go. And I help you the first few foot.
Awesome.
Give you a leg up.
13.
13. Okay. Morthos, it takes you a little bit more, and you stop and start at a couple spots, and you don't seem to kind of go as fast as the rest of them, but you do seem to get up just fine. Mr. T, at this point, probably wants to go. Mr. T, I just rolled for you. You got a 16, so add whatever you want, but you'll make it up. I wasn't sure if you were around. Because it's so weird just having you not talk. And right. But Mr. T goes up, shoots through the chimney, leaving Runa and Ben, I believe.
Would you like me to give you a leg up and guidance?
Then kind of looks down and mumbles yes.
Yes, go with my blessing and help you up.
All right, Ben. Athletics check with your guidance.
15.
15. This time you managed to get up. You seem fairly comfortable actually this time, and once you get into a rhythm, you seem to move rather quickly through this little chimney.
I quietly call thank you down.
This is quite
All right.
welcome.
And Runa, you
I
are up.
rolled a nat 20.
A nat 20. Wow.
Yeah. Can you see
Runa, with your yes,
Yes.
with your
Such a waste.
with your time spent with the dwarves, you learned how to climb rock. So you just kind of looking around and realizing that you're kind of alone. You become very aware, and you're kind of sweet. I don't have to put on pretense. So you spit into your hands, and you kind of get yourself all good to go. Scramble up this rock very quickly, actually, behind Ven. So much so that by the time Ven reaches the top, Runa, you're like already right on her tail. Which, let me be clear to the viewers, Ben does not have a tail. But anyways, you guys are now standing in level 2.
Hey, do our viewers get extra XP for the nat 20?
Yes, they
The
do.
viewers in the stream? Hey!
Yes, viewers do get XP for every nat 20, and that it should be done. So this is what level 2 kind of looks like. I'm trying not to reveal too much. Normally, if this program had worked the way it should, it would only be showing you what you guys can actually see. versus me having to move it around so you only see what I want you to see. This chamber does feel like it does have an exterior exit as well as the level below it, as you can feel kind of a soft, cold wind kind of moving through the tower.
It's really refreshing.
And we're inside, so we don't get wet from the rain, right?
Yes, and in fact, almost on cue, as you say that, Runa, the rain begins starting again.
I get the impression that the weather here hates me. Every time I say something like, take all the weather out, and stuff like that, it starts raining.
Well, you know, sometimes weather can do funny things. All right, so what would you guys like to do?
Can we see light anywhere?
No, mostly probably because it's dark outside, but I mean, at least you don't see any firelight or anything else. Mr. T, at this point, he kind of sits back and he kind of says, you know what? You guys might have been right about that pit. I'll stay back and you guys just kind of do what you want to do.
A very good idea.
Mm-hmm. Selenia is gonna pull off her hood and reveal her hair.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you guys have very much ever seen her full hair. It does very much look like her picture. Kind of ends in kind of these pure yellow blonde streaks, and it just moves up into this kind of golden hair color. But why am I describing it? Daniel, why don't you describe your hair and your face a little bit?
Okay. Wait, I wasn't prepared to describe it.
I gotcha. In the meantime, what does Ven do? Or the rest of you, anyways.
Since Ven has 120-foot dark vision, she's looking around trying to figure out where they should move to next.
Okay, are you looking like all the way around or just...
I mean, it looks like we're sort of in like a chamber. I'm probably going to go towards the exit of the chamber and kind of just see what I can see.
Okay, so I'll put you there, because there will actually enable you to see that this small little chamber over here seems to just be a dead end of nothing. However, you do catch a glimpse of right over here on the eastern wall, there does seem to be a long dead body. And then down this way is the exit to the... And you can see that at this point, you are probably 150 feet in the air, is your best guess. You've probably... And in fact, you would have kind of calculated that by climbing the well, because that was a 90-foot climb through that chimney.
Okay. I guess I'll just go over and investigate what I'm assuming is a skeleton, if it's super long dead.
Okay. You walk in to the room and immediately hear noises above you, as from out of the darkness coming down from where they were hanging ceiling are these strange, almost oversized mosquitoes that come down and immediately begin to take action. Everybody roll initiative. I'll put our creatures up.
10.
3.
16.
10 for Ven, 3 for Sin. Did I hear 15, Runa?
16.
16. Great.
Mhm.
Mr. T got 19. I'm missing Morthos.
12.
Linnea, what'd you get for your initiative?
18.
18. Oh. I'm going dead last. Mr. T, you are up first. I don't have them marked down yet, but they're over near Ven. You still have to move. I'm not sure you can get there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, you can't, actually. Do you have 30 feet of movement or less? 25, because you're a dwarf, I think. Does Action Surge give you more movement? I can't remember. I think it just allows you to take an additional action, which will not actually increase your movement.
I thought you could still spend an action to use that as movement as well.
I'm not sure, because I've always known movement. So it's fine. So you'll get there, and then you can attack. There are 9 of these oversized mosquitoes.
I think it should work because he could just take his move action, then spend his action moving, and then take the action search to attack, right?
Yeah. 14 hits.
Correctly.
Mr. T, you can roll some damage. 17. Wow. You actually just explode one of these creatures as you hit it. Clearly, they do not take very much to kill at all, and it just explodes in a shower of blood. Yeah, it's like popping a mosquito that's trying to like eat you. But yeah. Next up is Selenia.
I can only move 8.
You can get right into that chamber, and
okay.
I don't have them marked, and I'm probably not going to, because you guys are probably going to down them super quick, not going to lie. But you are able to hit at least one of them.
Well, she comes in with her fiery campfire looking hair, blowing up the room, and then she's gonna spear attack, two-handed. One of the how many mosquitoes are there? Just I don't know.
There are 8 oversized mosquitoes. There used to be 9.
Well, I'm gonna take one of the 8 out,
Sounds good.
or try to. D8. Okay. So I rolled a 10. Well, I rolled a 7 plus 3. That's 10. Okay. And then attack bonus 5. It's 15.
Daniel, what you're looking at as well. 15 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That hits. Roll me some damage. And also, let me see. That is what you're looking at. It is literally like a weird, oversized mosquito.
Let's just say, oh.
It's like something from Dead Space. Ugh.
Attack. Which one do I roll for damage? Forgot.
For your spear,
Yeah,
were you using it one-handed or two-handed?
two-handed.
Then it's your D8. Shelby, I hope that's lemonade you're drinking. Otherwise, I'd be very concerned about your water.
It's lemonade.
I got a 4.
4? Okay, make sure you add because you should have next to your attack bonus, you have D6/D8 plus. So make sure you add that plus to whatever you roll.
Add a 1. Oh, actually, no, I can actually re-roll it because of great weapon fighting. If I roll a 1 or a 2, I can re-roll
You bet.
damage. Let's do that.
Man, you guys have 3 people with great weapon fighting in your party. It's
So
ridiculous.
I got a 6. I rolled a 3 at 3 and makes it 6.
All right, you come in with a 2-handed thrust and just decimate this creature. All right, next up is Runa.
Okay, then I'm going to follow them, and I'm most likely too far away to do much, right? I have 30 feet of movement, and I'm still at the pottery
15,
club.
20, 25, 30. We'll say you get there. Why not?
I'm going to use a ranged attack, so as
Oh yeah, you would have
line
been
of
fine
sight.
anyway.
Okay, I'm going to do chill touch again because it worked so good last time,
Awesome.
and I have no blessing, so it's just a roll, and that's 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Oh, excellent.
And because the 14 hits, let's cheers. As we cheers. Hold on. I lost who I'm cheersing. Oh, Exilium. Another one of our lovely.
Cheers!
And after that, it's 7 points of necrotic damage as the skeletal hand raises out of the shield and slashes the mosquito.
Okay, this skeletal hand comes out of the shield and slashes this creature, and it also explodes in a shower of blood. All right, Morthos, you're up. And you are actually the closest. You can get... Yeah, you can definitely get within range of...
I just want
Probably
to
melee
be
attack.
within line of sight.
Yep, you're fine.
Let's see. Is there any 5-foot cubes that are unoccupied by anybody except for the mosquitoes?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to cast Bonfire on as many mosquitoes as possible right there.
All right.
They have to
Make a dex save, I think.
Yeah.
Aren't we
dex-
technically using repellent?
Yeah, but these are like bigger bugs.
Well,
But they might have disadvantage in attacking us.
This is true. Okay, so one does get away from, but another one just gets absolutely incinerated.
That's 5 points of fire damage.
Yeah, it got absolutely incinerated.
Awesome. And anything that enters in the bonfire has to make the same roll or take damage.
Awesome. You guys just see this like bonfire erupt off of pure stone and incinerate one of these creatures. That leaves 5 of these creatures left as we come to Ven.
Alright, I'm gonna magic missile and send a dart at, like, a singular dart at singular bugs. So I'm gonna try and hit 3 of them.
Awesome.
So that's 4, 5, and 2.
4, 5, and 2. All right. You guys watch as Ven, not very amused by being attacked, she just kind of points her finger and a dart just kind of and just stabs one of them and it falls, and then she kind of shoots another one and shoots another one like an old West sharpshooter, just kind of pow, 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 and 3 drop. There are 2 now left. Well done, Ven. Nice use of magic missiles. Sin, you're up.
okay, so I have a movement of 30. If I move over there, can I hit both of them?
With your melee, no.
Darn. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little crazy with it. Is I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes.
All right, right on. That you can do, for sure. And in fact, you will have advantage on this attack thanks to Lone Wolf Rowan.
Why, thank you.
I know, nobody's giving you guys disadvantages. It's because of all those ones at the start of our game. They figured you guys didn't need it.
Right?
It's really good I have magic missile, or else I wouldn't hit anything.
That is a 22.
22. Okay, yeah, that hit.
All right. And then that is 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Yeah, you smoke the crap out of this thing, and it just blows up in yet again an atypical shower of blood. And the last Sturge left in the chamber is going to very stupidly try an attack. And it is going to attack its target that it had originally wanted to attack, which means it's attacking Zen. And it rolled a 12 plus 5 is 17. All right.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You are going to take 4 points of damage, and this creature actually attaches itself to you.
Rude.
And back to the top of the round, Mr. T, you are up.
Don't hit me.
Yes, you can, Mr. T. You can grab it if you'd like. Make a strength check, please. So Mr. T manages to go and grab it, but doesn't quite know his own strength for whatever reason, and more slaps it. He kills it, but you just get a shower of your all across your face.
I said, don't hit me.
He nat one to grab it, by the way, and he just kind of looks at you and he kind of shrugs his shoulders. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And you're out of initiative. Then you can continue on to examine the body. You examine the body, and you can actually, especially as you get closer, you can see that there is a gleam of perhaps jewels and gold. And you get there, and you look through the body, and you find 15 gold pieces, a
Nice.
gold and carnelian ring, and 2 onyx figurines that represent a strange look. Like, you're not sure whether they're dolls or whether they're effigies of something, but they both look kind of similar in that they have all black bodies, have like arms and legs, but their heads are these kind of oversized ovoids that seem to almost have. It's almost like the painter got lazy and wanted to paint a face, but then just kind of really threw ink on it, because it kind of looks like a Rorschach ink blot test on this kind of white ovoid head. So you're not sure what they are, but I mean, they could be valuable.
Okay. Well, I slipped the ring on my finger. Obviously,
Okay.
It's shiny and pretty. And then I pass the figurine. And then I pass the figurines to whoever wants them. I just kind of hold them up. Who wants these?
Sin takes one. He thinks they're very intricate and they need to be valued in a serious manner, and he is going to take it in such a serious manner that he just snatches one and says, "No one else will take it like this."
Are you taking both or just one?
Just whatever one he quickly grabs for.
Okay. And did anybody else want the other one, or is it going in Ven's pocket?
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
Okay. Wow, for once a party that doesn't fight over treasure. I got so lucky with you guys.
Yay!
Man, wait till the first magic item comes up and then we'll
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I hope we all know it'll strengthen us and, strengthen another person, but it's
Let's
still
hope.
magical.
Let's hope. Although Mr. T will probably abdicate, being as he
Yes,
already
he
has
knows me.
one. All right, so I can show you back to the map now. Okay. I didn't throw up the map for the combat and anything else because I knew it was going to be quick bugs. Okay, so who or what would you like to do, or who, or who's doing what, or what are you doing? I don't know what I'm trying to say.
So Selenia's a walking torch, right?
Well, her hair isn't necessarily is fire, but
Well, it glows.
yes, it does.
Oh, since Sin didn't acknowledge this very well, he actually goes and looks at the hair very prominently, and he just can't stop staring at its elegance, and it's just like, how did your hair get like this?
Birth.
Well, birth from your kind must be amazing.
I wouldn't know.
I think
She
it must
says,
be a blessing of Amunator, right?
No. I don't think. Would you guys know what I don't know if they would know what I am. An Asamar.
I surely
They would
don't.
only know if you told them.
Oh, I thought that would be like a thing. People
No.
would know. Okay.
Asimars aren't necessarily common. Just so you know, as a new player in the lore of the world and everything, they are not very common at all. And generally, most of the time, they're actually just mistaken for really beautiful humans.
Right. Okay.
So it's entirely up to you as to whether you reveal that part of your.
Okay. It's just technically, I'm not even really human to say. I'm like, how do you say this? An Osamar? I don't know if anybody knows what an Osamar is.
You'd probably be familiar with that term.
Have you heard that before?
Have
Yes,
you
I mean,
heard of it before, Runa?
Yes, have I?
Oh yeah, for sure. In your studies in the Church of Kelimvor, you would have heard of these children blessed with celestial blood.
I'm sure Morthos would have as well during his
Probably, yeah. Morthos, you probably would have heard about it, studied on about it at the Arcane Brotherhood.
Sin definitely does not.
Jen definitely does not. Neither does. And then probably was too busy learning how to be a lady.
Her family tends to avoid angelic beings, so
I didn't want to say it, but yes.
yeah. That's me.
All right. Mr. T kind of says we could sit and rest up if you'd like. Then if you're hurt.
I could heal her. If how badly are you hurt?
I mean, I'm not the strongest of the party, so any pain is quite a bit to me.
Let me take the
Yeah, not Sin with level 3 and already at 40.
I place my hand on the wound and it will seal magically shut, and you get 8 hit points back.
Oh yeah, that's more than enough.
Ooh, invigorating.
And the shiver. All right. So you guys can all see outside. You can see that actually there is a bit of a full moon out tonight, surprisingly enough. And You can just kind of see it peeking through the light rain and the light overcast that there is as you kind of move in. You're guessing that it's probably about right around midnight, maybe. You've probably taken up about half of the night just kind of getting to here. Excuse me. So what would you like to do?
Well, if it's almost midnight, should we see if we want to take a rest or
No.
That's not a good idea.
in the cave? Okay.
No. That's too dangerous. We need to go in and out before the sun is rising, right? We need to find that mask.
Right.
Yeah.
Press on. No resting. No rest for
You gotta
the
pick up the pace.
So are we outside? Or are we still inside
you're
this
still
cave?
inside. If you'd like, Selenia, you can step outside.
Yeah, I'll step outside.
All right. So
And I'll put my hood back on as I step back outside.
you can see standing right where you are, at the foot of where you are, there is a ladder that does seem to go down, but it only goes down about 10 feet before it's completely broken and thrown off. You get the sense that at one point, perhaps, this entire tower had good, strong ladders that a person could climb all the way up to the top and down. But now you're seemingly having to use whatever is at your disposal. You can see also, additionally, that there is a ledge that seems to curl around the outside of the building.
I'm gonna yell at the rest and say, "There's a path this way."
Okay. Then let's follow Selenia, right?
Yeah, agreed.
After her.
Yep.
All right, so I'm not going to move your tokens because it'll take too much time. But as you guys all move around the ledge, I need each one of you to make a dexterity saving throw. As at this height, the wind is potentially strong enough to pull you off the side of this tower.
Dexterity, right?
Dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Morthos got an unnatural 20.
Very nice. Mr. T got 12.
Sin got 17.
Okay.
12 also.
I got a
Ben
one.
got a 16.
Okay.
Someone said 1, right?
I did.
Daniel
Oh,
said
no.
one. So, Daniel, as you begin stepping out onto this ledge, follow you, the wind picks up and literally pulls you right off the side of this building.
Can Sin quickly notice what's going on and try and grab onto him?
I will give you a disadvantage dex save. Disadvantage because of gloss and gadget.
Okay. Damn. Damn. All I've got is Chef Ramsay in my head. Damn.
Can I try to catch the ledge?
7? No, that's part of your deck save, unfortunately. 7. So you go, but unfortunately have to be stopped. And you guys watch as your friend Selenia just falls into darkness.
Does she fall all the way or onto a ledge?
You do not see her hit a ledge.
Was there enough time for her to sprout her wings or something?
Yeah. What about her wings?
I can't.
Good call.
She's already used
I
that.
used them.
You guys did a long rest.
Wait. Let me see some.
I sent Corbin after her to see where she's falling, or if she could grab to something on the side of the tower. Or...
You send Corvin down.
Yes. And look through his eyes.
And you look through his eyes, and you very quickly catch through your raven friend's eyes. You very quickly catch the hole that your friend Selenia made as she slammed through the jungle canopy.
Oh no!
And you will Corvin to go a little bit further,
Yeah.
a little bit worried about what you're going to see. And as Corvin comes and lands onto the ground, you can see, you don't know whether she's unconscious, whether she's dead. She definitely looks to have broken a couple of limbs, for sure, but is just laying in a still bloody mess.
The good thing is I can cast through my familiar. So I should be able to give the cure wounds through him, right? If I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. Okay, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on 2nd level through Corvin and hope that will help. Because this looks really, really bad.
Meanwhile, we're all just standing up there completely at a loss.
Yeah.
Sin's probably still got his hand outstretched.
Sin is like mortified. He's like, I failed. I failed.
That's 14 hit points.
Okay. Do I have to roll something?
No, you just have 14 hit points. I don't know how dead you are. If it works.
14.
So
You,
how,
Daniel, were at 0, about to make death saves, because in this game, unless you take double your hit point maximum, you don't instantly die, and you weren't at a height enough for that to happen per se. But you were very, very close to death. But unfortunately, Runa brings you back right from the grasp of death.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Is that
unfortunate for
something
me.
Why my eyes are still glowing, because I'm looking through Corvin's eyes, I said to the others that I found Selenia and she looks badly hurt. But I can heal her from this with Corvin's help. So no worry. We will get her back fine in a few moments, hopefully.
Sin says,
All will be
I
well.
volunteer to go get her. I feel terrible.
How far?
Do I wake up from it
where
or
is she?
no?
No, I will say you are still currently unconscious.
Okay.
Corvin is picking her in the nose very carefully to wake up.
You get the sense, looking through Corvin's eyes, you get the sense that she's knocked herself completely out.
Okay.
The ground impact and everything just smoked her.
Can Runa hear us?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
You're lucky I
Go-
rolled more on the falling damage, by the way, Daniel.
Jesus. I tell Runa to go find Azaka and get Azaka over there with Corvin.
If Azaka is farther away than 160 feet, I will lose connection to Corvin and can no longer look through his eyes.
Try to find Azaka.
Okay. I try.
You have about 10 feet
Oh.
before he goes away, because you are 150 feet up in the air.
Oh. Okay. Nope. That does not work then.
He does. You do kind of will him to kind of go up and kind of look through the foliage. And interestingly enough, where perhaps you may have seen like a campfire or something, you don't see anything. No sign of firelight or anything.
So either she bailed on us, or she's really good at what she's doing and hit the campfire so well that I don't see it.
Selenia, And actually, here's an interesting pointed question. Runa, do you hear through Corvin's eyes, or do you just see through Corvin's eyes?
I can use all of
Corvin's senses?
Mm.
Okay, both Corvin and Selenia hear a growl.
I can hear it now.
Oh, guys.
I thought it was unconscious.
Oh yeah, right.
There's
Pointing
something.
unconscious. I forgot about that. So you hear nothing.
There's an animal down there and it's growling, and Selenia is still lying there unconscious. So maybe we should get down there, save her. before
As
someone
you
thinks,
as you
must-
look around, I'm assuming, Runa, looking around, you see the soft gleam of eyes looking out from the foliage. And actually, you see this creature kind of come out of the foliage, and it appears to be a rather large tiger. And it comes out, and it kind of tentatively paws over to Selenia,
oh no.
kind of sniffs her, licks a little bit of the blood.
I make
And
Corbin
then
flap his wings
actually-
and crow.
Yeah. And it kind of looks at Corvin, looks back at Selenia, and then you see the tiger lay down next to Selenia and just sit there.
Okay. Not trying to eat her, I hope.
No. In fact, seems to be actually looking out. It's almost as if it's claimed Selenia and is now making sure that nothing else comes in.
Okay. This is my cup now, so.
Are you relaying everything you see to us? Are you
yes.
telling us that there's a tiger?
I don't know what's going on. Something really weird is happening. There's a tiger coming out of the jungle, and he.
And you can't find Azaka.
No, I don't see a campfire or anything else.
The mask that we're here to find is a tiger
It's a
mask.
Tiger mask, yeah. And she's afraid of water. Maybe she's a kitty in truth.
Yep. I think Selenia is okay. I think we should continue.
Mr. T begins to take rope off of his packs, and he's kind of asking around, does anybody else have some? I think
Yeah.
I buy some rope.
I hand him my rope.
I hand him my rope.
Okay, so Mr. T, you will indeed get the 3 ropes that you need. I just need you to make a quick sleight of hand check to see whether your knots are firm. Heaven forbid another one of you makes a 150-foot fall. Mr. T kind of does he does the kind of atypical kind of one knot, another knot, and all of you are kind of like, oh, that might not be right.
Let me
That
give
looks
that a
wrong.
try. I'm sure I've tied rope before in my time in Luskin.
Yes, you have. So by all means, go ahead and give that a try, Morthos, and Exilium has given you advantage for this.
Sleight of hand I'm adding.
Mm-hmm.
That's 19 total.
Excellent. Now, just so you're aware, for the rest of you, the ledge you're standing on does have a ladder that goes up to the next level. Now, where exactly are you affixing your rope, Mr. T?
Sen can try and hold on to it.
I don't see that going over well.
I can go into berserk and I can, use all my strength because I do
Sure.
get advantage.
And we'll hold on to your legs. We'll just
Okay.
sit on your feet.
Mr. T kind of says, I think I'm going to tie it to the ladder. And with the help of Morthos, they seem to secure it to this rope ladder and tie it to one of the rungs of the ladder. And Mr. T kind of throws the rope off, and he seems pretty happy with what he's accomplished.
I go and hold the knot very
And
firmly
immediately
on my part.
begins to try and descend down the rope.
Guidance. I just say
All right, Mr. T, just roll an athletics check for me, please.
if we ever get someone to do statistics for us, then guidance will be the spell that's most used, right?
Actually, that someone is me. I'm going to be
Okay.
making stat sheets for us. I don't know if it'll track full-on crazy stuff like that, but it definitely will have tables of net 20s and nat 1, stuff like that. Mr. T, is that with Mr. T? You got a 17 so far, is what he said. 21 with the guidance. There you go. So Mr. T very quickly seems to very aptly situate himself so that he rappels down into darkness. You guys wait probably a very uncomfortable few minutes before Sin, Mr. T, having seen you put your hand on the rope, you feel a soft 2 tugs on the rope.
Can I help as he comes up? I just try and see if I can pull on the rope to hurry.
I don't think he's coming back up.
Oh.
That was more, I made it to the ground safe.
I kind of tug.
I'm not
kind
dead.
of like, okay.
Mr. T, down on the ground, and this is going to be interesting because I'm going to relay both what Mr. T and everything else happens. Mr. T, what would you like to do down on the ground? Try and find Selenia? And what would the rest of you like to do? Are any of you going down the rope?
Morthos would.
I'm still using Corbin, and I stay up here in case something happens with the rope.
We still have a mission.
Help, right?
Mm-hmm. So who's going down? Sorry? Somebody said it. Morthos? Okay, make an athletics check, please. Morthos?
Guidance?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead. I bless
And
you.
Exilium has given you advantage as well, Morthos.
Awesome.
Because he knows you guys need help.
Obviously.
12.
12. Okay, so it's a little bit sketchy and scary, and a lot of the times you're mostly just sliding down the rope. But you do manage to get down the rope, and you join Mr. T, and together you guys immediately kind of begin about it hard because you are down in darkness, but Mr. T does have dark vision, and so do you, actually, I think. So you guys begin looking around, and very quickly you can see off in the distance at least the kind of broken benches, and I would assume that, Runa, you would have Corvin caw to kind of attract their attention. And
I think
so,
Raven can even mimic some words, so.
oh, perfect.
Left!
Left, right, hot, cold.
Something like that, yeah.
Very quickly, you guys are brought by Corvin, essentially, to Selenia's broken, unconscious body. And the tiger that you had all been warned about kind of stands up, and you actually note that it takes a defensive stance against you. And then as soon as you kind of step in a little bit further, it just kind of takes a couple steps back and then just runs off into the jungle.
And now the party is split.
I kneel down next to Selenia and make sure she's alright.
Okay, as you kneel down, Mr. walks right up and just full-on bitch slaps Selenia right across the face. This is actually how you awaken, Selenia, as all of a sudden you feel your face just get slapped, and as your vision clears, Mr. T's like, "Wake up, soldier, we're not done."
Tough draw.
What the fuck was that for?
I pointed at Mr. T. Wasn't me.
You are healed, Selenia, but I will say probably hella sore.
Mm-hmm. So no broken bones.
No. And Mr. T says, Runa saved your life, by the way, and you're welcome.
Thanks. She's like frazzle dazzled right now.
The raven is saying, yes, yes.
She looks at the raven very strange.
Have
Okay. So
have you,
back
have
up
any of
there.
you seen the movie Willow?
Uh-uh.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind. That reference is going to get lost on people. All right. Mr. T just immediately turns back, says, what goes down has to go up again. And he just walks away.
I help Selene up if she isn't up already, and guide her towards where the rope is.
Okay.
Instead, she uses her spear to help her walk.
All right. As you guys approach the rope, it still seems to be there. You guys up on the ledge have managed to kind of keep yourselves against the rocks enough now, knowing that the wind is going to kind of peel you off if it gets the chance. You've been lucky so far. What do you do, guys? Mr. T, are you going to try and head up the rope? I need you to make an athletics check at disadvantage, thanks to Exilium.
I'm Runa saying to Sin, brace yourself. I think they are coming back up.
Should we go up the ladder to get out of their way?
Okay.
We are on the ledge, right? So there should be enough space for them to climb up, right?
You guys watch as the guys on the ground, by the way, Selenia, you guys watch as Mr. T kind of says, all right, and he kind of grabs onto the rope, and he immediately begins hauling himself. He's doing pretty good, but Sin, up on top of the ledge, you feel this weight hit the rope, and then you immediately hear as the rung of the ladder breaks off. I need you to make a dex save to catch the rung.
Can I aid him? Can I?
Yes,
aid
you
him?
can.
Okay, so you have advantage. We have the worst luck, guys.
Mm.
That is an 11.
An 11. Okay, you guys just managed to grab the rope, kind of, one on one side, one on the other. But if that weight stays on that rope, it might pull you guys right off this ledge.
At the moment, it's just Mr. T on the rope, right?
You're not sure. It feels really heavy, so yeah, probably.
Okay. I have Corbin poke him and let go!
Okay.
Come down!
He does indeed, and you guys feel the kind of weight come off.
Well, that's not going to work, right?
Looks like they're gonna have to climb back up the
I guess
original
so.
way.
Yeah.
At least everything's already dead.
True that.
Can we create a campfire while we're up here and wait?
Are you doing so on the ledge or inside?
Alert every Pterafolk who's circling maybe in the skies? I don't.
If we're
think
deep in the
that's a good idea.
cave, the campfire shouldn't affect. I mean, it shouldn't be seen.
Okay, so you guys go back into the cave, and where and what are you lighting the campfire with?
And don't forget to pull the ropes up, right? We might need them later if they.
And you'll pull the ropes up. For those climbing the tower again, whoever's going up the ladder first, I need you to make an athletics check. Looks like Mr. T might be going first.
He rolled a 10.
I saw that. He's fine. He gets up that ladder the first 60 feet. Who's going next?
I'll go next. I got a 24.
Okay.
Where was that earlier?
Selenia climbs up easily enough. Morthos?
6.
6.
Instead of
Okay.
anything.
You actually break off a couple rungs as you go up, but you manage to get up.
Just barely.
All right. And now that you're on the front, so just really quickly, it doesn't matter which order. Selenia and Mr. T, I need you guys to make athletics checks.
16.
Morthos, did you get the exact same thing?
Yeah.
You guys said it right at the exact same time. All right. So after a period of probably about half an hour, I would say, which is enough to grant Ven, Runa, and Sin a short rest. Half an hour to an hour, I'll say, depending on climbing rates and whatever. But I'm not going to get into that. I will say that after that period of time, everybody is back together. A little sore, for sure. But everybody has managed to come back up and are all together.
Sin says, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh no.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
Now we gotta do it again.
You can go first.
Yes,
Okay.
and in fact, almost as if the entire land is almost against you, a heavy rain is approaching, complete with thunder and lightning.
Of course.
I don't like this jungle.
Me neither.
No.
Can we use rope this time to help us? Put rope around all of us and
Daisy chain?
Oh, so we all
Yeah.
fall off the cliff next time.
at least one person will dangle. Like, I mean,
Unless it's you, with which case we'll all go.
that's why you don't put me in the caboose.
The only way
Uh,
up is the ledge, right? We do have to do that.
Mr. T says, "Oh, that climbing wore me out. Maybe if we sit for an hour, maybe the storm will pass."
Yeah.
He's basically asking the rest of the party for a short rest.
The only problem I see with
That's it.
that is the sun's going to be coming up here in a couple hours, and we need to finish this before the sun comes up.
I will say, as a reminder, Azaka, night or rain will help.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah. So we just keep pressing forward.
You can either keep pressing forward, you could short rest, or you could even long rest and hope the rain stays.
Yeah, we can't make it on that ledge though with the rain. That's gonna be real slippery.
I say we go.
You just
I'm gonna hang
fell.
on. I'm gonna hang on to you. I'm gonna hang on to you.
You're gonna hang on to me, so we're both gonna fall.
You're big.
Are you guys at least going to perhaps short rest enough for Mr. T to get the benefits of that?
Yeah, might as well.
Benefits.
All right.
Thanks.
So you guys have an hour short rest, maybe have a little bit of a snack. Selenia maybe massages sore spots.
and don't
Mhm.
forget to use your hit dice, right, to regain hit points.
Well,
Yes.
how do I-
You need to. So, Selenia, as a paladin, I believe you have D10s as your hit dice. Let me just check. Yes, you do. So you essentially have of 3d10 that you can use to regain health. So you can roll 1, 2, or all 3 of them, and then make sure you add your Constitution modifier.
well, got 10 now. I got 3 of them now. I can do it.
Oh, Will's not even around for me to ask. Are those 2 kitties in the background? Those are your guys' 2 kitties? There's one kitty looks like he's doing something really mean to the other kitty.
I think it's talking to you, Tony.
It's a cat and a dog.
Okay.
And they are mean to each other, but they love each other.
So if you're rolling hit dice, Daniel, make sure you add your Constitution modifier, which is the small number, to each of your D10 rolls.
Is this the D10 or is this the D12?
That looks
There's
like
a
a
12
D10.
on it.
Yeah, that's a D12. Your D10 will either have 0, 0, or 0 as the final number.
Got it. Oh, good. Really? Oh, that's 10, 11, 14. So I had Runa gave me 14. She healed me, and then I had 14, right?
Yep. So you would now be at 28, which is actually exactly what you need.
Yeah. My hit points. Thanks, Runa.
You're welcome. That's what clerics
As she
do.
says, rubbing her shoulders, arms.
And yeah, just something for you to think about, Daniel. You were very close to death. Just something for your character, perhaps maybe something that you might need to process.
Oh, wait a second. Now that you just said that, he was at 0 hit points, right?
Was.
I'm a grave cleric, and I have something called Circle of Mortality. Whenever I heal someone who's at 0 hit points, they get max healing. So that would actually...
Oh, so you would have been fine from the very get-go.
I'm so sorry, I just remembered that. My domain feature.
There you go. Let that be a lesson to all you viewers out there. Always remember all of your... They will come in handy.
So I guess you can put one of those hit dice that you rolled aside for...
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can just give that back to you so that...
Technically I was fully healed then?
Technically you were fully healed, so you actually wouldn't have any of those hit
I'm so sorry. Next time I remember, I swear.
All right. So, after you guys have a short rest, the rain does not let up. In fact, it seems to be getting worse.
Good or a bad thing?
So what would you guys like to do?
Are we done with the rest?
Yeah. So, Mr. T, whatever you needed to get back from your short rest, you do get back. He's done, so whenever the rest of the party is ready to go.
Just a curious inquiry. Don't we have 1 inspiration?
Yes, you do. All of you do as your Christmas presents.
Can we use that to our benefit?
Yeah, absolutely. In my games, inspiration points generally don't, but in my games, inspiration points can be used to re-roll any D20 roll. So that's death saves, initiative, anything.
Okay.
And yes, all of you did get one as a Christmas present from me. Because I couldn't get you anything real, so I got you a fake.
I could have used that on my dex roll.
So helpful.
Yes, you totally could have used that on your dex save, falling off the tower. But again, lesson learned for your viewers. Pay attention.
I could have also used it to save you, but...
Yeah.
I forgot.
That's true, yeah.
Let me go right.
That's okay, Daniel. Welcome to Atypical D&D, where after everything has happened, you go, Oh yeah.
Hindsight
just
is always
remembered.
2020.
Yeah. All right. So, as
Nice
you guys think about going out onto this ledge and ladder, what is your plan?
I think Barthos would probably try to test the ladder a couple steps.
Okay. So, are you guys just going out on the ledge, no tie together? Just
I say we tie each other.
I don't think that's a good idea, but okay.
Sure.
okay. So, you guys tie everyone together. It actually does seem to help a little bit, Ben. It does seem to enable a little bit of security, enough so that even if somebody were to even if the wind were to kind of half push a person off, the rope keeps you guys close enough that, it's easier to catch and hold on to a person. Morthos, I'll assume you were taking the lead on this because you wanted to test the ladder.
You want me to
Sorry,
be the
I keep
middleman?
saying common, it's driving me nuts. Morthos, you test the first couple rungs of the ladder, and it does seem to hold weight, but maybe perhaps as you go higher and higher up, it might not, because keep in mind, this ladder seems to travel 80 feet up the side of this tower before arriving at another that you can just barely make out. But then, with your extended dark vision, you can actually see the faint glimmer of firelight coming from that opening.
Okay. I kind of quietly tell everybody, because there could be Pterafolk or whatever around. I tell them that there's a firelight up in the next opening.
Thank you.
Okay, so we should be very quiet.
We should untie each other.
Yeah, we definitely can't go
that's
up the
a good
ladder all
idea.
tied together.
Yeah. I untie myself.
Okay?
Same.
Same.
You guys knowing, I'll say that you guys managed to push yourselves all up against the wall and kind of keep yourself on a solid enough footing that the wind and rain whipping around in your face doesn't manage to deter you too much. Morthos, are you going up all the way?
I don't know yet.
So you're just hanging onto the ladder, what do I do?
I'll go ahead and try to be careful as much as I can and try to hold on to the edges and not putting too much weight on one spot.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Guidance?
Go forth with my blessing.
Thank you.
I have a feeling in this game, I don't know about all the other Fumbles and Fame games, but I have a feeling guidance is going to become the favorite spell.
I guess so, yes.
That is 14 total.
14 total. Okay, Morthos, you do get up to the top. Now, as you're kind of climbing, you catch sight of this firelight too. So when you arrive, what is it you'd kind of like to do? There is enough space that you figure you don't actually have to enter specifically the tower before everyone else. You can there's enough space that you can kind of stand out on the side and wait for the rest to get up.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Yeah, here, just really quickly so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There you go. Map should be shared very soon. That is kind of the ledge you're looking at. So as you can see, the interior is that way, but you could kind of stand off here and wait for the rest of your friends before perhaps you you move in further.
I'll wait for sure.
Okay. Who's going next?
Sen will.
Okay, Sin, make an athletics check for me, will you?
Would you like guidance?
Nope. 19
Okay.
plus 6, that's 25.
25. Sin scales the ladder very, very quickly.
That was 80 feet, right?
It's 80 feet, yep.
I'm sending Corbin up with them, so they can contact me via the familiar, right?
Okay.
When
And
I
who's-
see Sin, I do this like hush, and then have him with me with his back against the wall.
Okay, sounds good.
I do as
I'm
follows.
yeah, I assumed so. All right, who's going next up the ladder?
Oh, cool.
Okay, make an athletics check, please.
I'm not asking you, I'm just giving you guidance after the last fall. A little friendly pat on the back.
And it's what? +2 guidance?
It's you roll a d4
Four.
and add that to your
Oh, a D4. And then add it. I got a 13. I got a 13.
Okay, you're up safely.
Who's next? When?
Who's next?
I guess I'll go. Oh, nope, Mr. T wants to go.
Okay. Mr.
Guidance,
T,
Mr. T.
what'd you get?
Wow.
Hmm.
That dwarf knows how to climb.
Well, yes, he does. 21 with guidance. He's up. And who's next?
I go last, so when?
All right, I'll go.
Would you like to go?
Morthos, roll me a quick perception check.
12.
And if you allow, I'll give you guidance as well, right?
Oh no, Mr. T, you went away. Mr. T, come back. There you are.
I got an unnatural 20.
Ooh, very nice. All right. And
Very last.
Runa, you have advantage on this, as well as perhaps casting guidance, as our Miss Gloss and Gadgets gave you advantage again.
Thank you. I had a net 1 and a 19. And I rolled 2 on the 2 so that was a lifesaver. So it's 21 instead of 1.
Instead of the 1, wow. Okay, as you
Thanks a lot.
climb up, Runa, Morthos, you become aware over the whipping rain and everything else. You're not sure, but you think you can hear something coming from inside that tower. You're not sure exactly, but it's very, very strange noises.
Can I try to peek in without making myself too known, or?
Sure. Make a stealth check. As the rest of you kind of situate yourself up, Morthos shushes you and...
Do I have to say it?
Yes.
That one.
All right. Very clearly, Morthos goes, "Shh, I'm going to go take a look ahead." And then immediately turns around and trips on a rock, and without even thinking, lets loose a stream of obscenities, just like, "Shit, fuck!" and falls flat on his face. And you guys turn around. He doesn't fall off the near the edge. But you guys do hear movement coming out of the tunnel, and coming out to look at what is making this noise is a creature that looks like this.
Ooh.